fight fans fighter.
The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
Ain't no pressure when you built for this.
Man down. Round one. The truth hurts.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated super flyweight from San Antonio, Texas, Jesse Bam Rodriguez!
The universally recognized undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
And we shall overcome.
Impromptu celebrations erupted outside the White House.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence.
Bud Crawford is a fight fan, and he's a fight fan's fighter.
The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
Ain't no pressure when you built for this.
Man down. Round one. The truth hurts.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated super flyweight from San Antonio, Texas, Jesse Bam Rodriguez!
The universally recognized undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney.
Yo, what up, man? Welcome back to another episode of Rockin' with the Rightside, man. This is season 3, episode 3. And tonight, man, we got a great individual, you know what I'm saying? An individual we've been trying to get on the show for a minute now. My brother. I gotta say it respectfully. This is my brother right here. You know what I'm saying? He calls himself the Asiatic black man. Right? Straight out of we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I don't even want to tell you where it's from. I know where it's from, but I'm gonna let him explain it to y'all. I call him Sombrero because the man loves Mexican fighters more than anybody else, in my personal opinion. That's just my opinion. The people call him BVO, man. Y'all shout out my brother BVO is in the building for a great conversation. BVO, are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here, man. I'm here. Salute. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Well, first thing, shout out to the Asiatic black man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sombrero. You know what I'm saying? BVO, we've been trying to get you on for a while. You know what I'm saying? First things first, how are you doing today, sir? And happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you, man. Happy Father's Day to you as well, my brother. I'm doing well.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. I want to jump straight into this thing, man, and really get started because we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to discuss. And so it's interesting. Me and you, we done had a lot of conversations behind the scenes. So me and you kind of came up in a similar style. I ain't going to say the exact same way, you know what I'm saying? But in a similar style. Can you break down, first off, the family dynamic that you grew up with and what your mother, your father, your grandparents, I think I know the answers, but for the people, can you break down how little BVO grew up and came up? Did you have your mother and father in the home with you? Did you have your grandparents in the home with you? Who did you grow up with?
So what I had was I was a product of young parents. My dad was in the Army. He was 20. My mother was 18. He just graduated high school. The thing that was pretty cool with me is that I had one of the greatest grandmothers in the world. Shout out to Norma Jean Curry, man. My grandmother, man, she decided, hey, they don't know how to raise no boy. We're gonna get him, and we gonna do it. So she grabbed me up as a youngster and decided to kind of raise me to about 12 or 13.
Okay, so and it's funny you say Norma Jean Curry, correct?
Yep, Norma Jean Curry. That was her name, Norma Jean. She had one of them. It used to be funny because she used to say she had the same name as Marilyn Monroe, so her name was Norma Jean.
Hey, look, the funny thing is I came up with a great grandmother, and my great grandmother, she got she got a Mattie Pearl Jones. You know what I'm saying? Mattie Pearl. Hey, I remember as a kid, whenever she get on the phone, anybody else to get what she used to always tell her, well, this is Mattie Pearl Jones from Warner Robins. I'm like, oh, you ain't gotta.
I love those older people like that,
man. Look, I can relate. I can definitely relate to you growing up with Norma Jean. Outside of Norma Jean, your grandmother was your grandfather in the household? Tell one more.
Yes. My grandfather, unfortunately, he passed kind of early, but he was there till I was around, I'll say, 8 or 9.
Hey man, Papa died before I had a real good chance to meet him. He died in '86. I was an '88 baby. I just learned lessons that they used to talk about him. You know, I could only learn about Papa from how the family would talk about him. You know what I'm saying? Not always good things. Not always good things, but
they don't always talk good about Daddy. They never talk good about Daddy. You know that. They never talk good about Daddy.
But one thing they would always tell, a man of principle. Was that the same way that your grandfather was?
He was the same way. The thing with my grandfather was he made a lot of bad choices, young, and they kind of just they all kind of came to a head. It affected his health. But I'll say this: you couldn't for the little time I known him. It's funny to think you lose somebody at 9 years old that their voice still rings in your mind. But he was just a good brother, man. He just was he was a man of his time who really struggled. He had a lot of demons, man. But I will say this: he took great care of my grandmother. My grandmother had health insurance because of him. My grandfather used to work at the airport, and he was basically he was a part of a program where they did like the air traffic patrolling. So he was one of those brothers that you would see on the tar. But the thing was, he would like run the I can't think of what you call it, but he would run like the people who get your stuff off the plane. He was the head of he was one of the managers of that. So they would get the stuff off the plane. They would load and unload the plane type of guy.
Like as far as luggage?
Yeah, as far as luggage. Yep. Luggage. Yep.
Hey, look, that ain't a bad profession to have, especially back in those. Well, I say back in those days. This is what, correct me if I'm wrong, probably early to mid '90s.
This is for when he got the initial job. This was 85, 86.
Okay, so it was before BVO. It was before BVO.
Yeah, it's before me. It's before me. Yeah. So he basically what it was back then. People don't realize like how free we are now. But it used to be very, very tough. It was very tough for a lot of black men to find jobs when the tire shops closed, because Cleveland, Akron is known at one time. Akron was the rubber capital of the world. So
it was the what capital?
The rubber capital of the world.
Rubber capital. Okay.
Yeah, they made more rubber in Akron, Ohio, than they made anywhere in the world. So
I didn't know
what pretty much happened with my grandfather. Let me start off. So my grandfather came here. He was a transplant. So my grandfather came here. He was from Dayton, Ohio. So he came here from Dayton, and my grandmother was already in the Akron, Canton area. So my grandma, somehow they met. She would come back and forth to Dayton. Dayton is about 2 hours away from Cleveland. So that's why I bring that up. So he ended up moving to Cleveland to be with her. And ended up working out for them. He found a job initially at Firestone, but Firestone closed in the I want to say the early 80s, like 81, 80, somewhere around there. That's when the steel mills and stuff started closing, the tire shops started closing. So he was able to get on with the what they had just built, the Akron Canton Airport. So he was able to get on with the airport, And he worked, them brothers like that, man, they worked real hard. So he was able to become the manager over the air traffic control team. So he used to do the luggage. He'd be in charge of cleaning the planes. He pretty much was just in charge of like a bunch of different things as far as maintenance. He was part of the crew of the dudes that would gas the plane. They would know what planes to gas, which ones not to. So it was a cool little profession for back then. But like I said, he just went through so much stuff before he got his life together that it just caught up to him.
Yeah. Hey, that's how life be.
Yeah.
So
sure.
let me ask this, young BVO. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about school, what type of student were you? Were you a A student? Were you the class clown? What type of student was young BVO?
You know what? As a kid, I was a very good student. If anybody's ever talked to me, see, I was really blessed because my grandma was the youngest of 12, and my great aunt Sarah was still around. My aunt Shirley, her parents were around, so I was around like a lot of older people, and I got a chance to understand how important education was at a very young age. At a very, very young age, and when you grow up like we do, you got to be a little bit more mature because those older folks didn't play all that, as they call fooling around, messing around. They didn't play all that, so you had to be in order, as you would say. So early on, I took a liking to education, and I was very, very good at reading. But what sparked that was my grandmother would take me to what used to be called Kenmore Comics, and I would read the comic books. So that helped me when I got to school, where I was a very good reader, as I still am today. So as a youngster, I was a really good student.
So it's interesting when you say she used to take you to read the different comic books. First off, say what was the name of the place that she would take you to?
It was called Kenmore Comics.
Kenmore Comics. Okay, so it was a comic book store.
Yes.
Okay, and so we gotta ask, what was your favorite comics back then? What did you like to read?
And the thing that was so crazy, and this is some true '90s stuff. Now we would spend 3, 4, 5 hours in the comic book store back then,
and not buy nothing.
Video game, and we didn't buy nothing. And then it got so bad. We just sitting there and just read the comics at the store owner. Just say, you know what, y'all could do some work around here if y'all want to take the comics home. Because we would just sit there and I would read the Batman comics, the Marvel comics, DC. My favorite was always Batman because I loved that Batman was a detective. So it's kind of funny now. Like I tell my wife all the time, when I look at some of the movies out now, I already know what's going to happen. Like I grew up reading the Game of Thrones. I grew up, reading those type of books. And it was just because it's weird to say this, but when you don't have a lot of money, man, and you growing up strict and all you're doing is going to church and coming home, those comics be like an escape.
Yeah. It give you a place to separate the mind from what's actually going on. Real quick, we got to shout the chat out. Shout out to Marky Dan in the building, the young historian pulling up, showing out. Salute to Marky Dan, man. Shout out to my brother D Free is in the building. Salute to Free. CDK had a great interview earlier today. I caught a piece of it just a few minutes ago, but got to catch the rest of it. Y'all make sure y'all go sub to all these brothers, Marky, Free, CDK as well. Shout out to my sister, man. Angie Baby is in the building. Salute to Angie Baby, man. Much love and respect, sis. So I got to ask this, BB. I got to ask. Mm-hmm. When you're coming up, you know what I'm saying, and I'm going to use a word that Chief Adam used in the Young Thug trial, what we would consider abject poverty, right?
Yeah.
That is really what it was. What was that like growing up and not really having? First off, I came up in poverty myself. I never really knew that we really didn't have any. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was normal. This is what everybody else was growing up around me with. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to figure that out, but growing up in poverty like that and not really having, but always finding a way to make a way.
Yeah.
How did that build your character as far as who you are today? And what was that like coming up as a child?
As a child, I didn't feel it. because I will say this: I had like a family unit, and we ate really, really good back then. I know that this might sound, everybody know BBO like to eat good, but we ate really, really good where we didn't eat fast food. My grandmother probably cooked every meal. It was just a different thing. The only time you really knew you didn't have money is when, like, I think around 99, 2000, it was 98. I remember 98. The Jordan 13s came out, the white and reds, and I wanted them. And I'm wearing what's they call Sauconys or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, I had some Sauconys. I had 4 different pairs of Sauconys.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I had the Sauconys, and then they used to wear you remember the big white K-Swiss? We used to have a big white K-Swiss. And, I said, hey, Grandma, I want to get these shoes. And my grandma say, as she would say it best, capital N, capital O. Mm-hmm. And the part that's so funny is I didn't know that we didn't have. I think it's just that when you get around other children and you say that, you want like material things and you necessarily can't get it, you be wondering why. And you just find out over time, because my grandmother worked at a daycare as like the cook. She was a cook at a daycare for a long time. And she actually was at that place 24 years, God rest her soul. And the lady that she worked for really prided herself on, childhood development. She wanted to help young Black kids grow up the right way. So she wanted young Black kids to grow up eating balanced meals, eating like a home cooked meal. Like, just imagine back then they got turkey, turkey chops, because we didn't eat no pork growing up like that. So we had turkey chops, dressing.
Hold on, y'all didn't eat pork?
No, not really, because my grandmother I guess she just wasn't a fan. I don't know what it was. She just wasn't a big fan of turkey, of pork. We ate sometimes, but I mean it was very, very rare. Let me clear that. It was very, very rare. It was very rare for us to eat like ribs, hot dogs. Because I remember we used to eat which I never was a big fan until I got an adult, because I thought them beef hot dogs was too tough. But that's kind of how we grew up eating. But the cool thing about it was I got a real opportunity to be a part of a community, and it was great. You had my Aunt Bernie. We would go shop on my Aunt Bernie, and my Aunt Bernie used to write bad checks to get food. She would say all the time, like, well, I ain't got no money till Thursday, but I'm gonna write this check and we're gonna get some food. And we go in there, we throwing stuff in the cart, we throwing stuff in the cart.
Did she post date the checks? She post dated them?
Yeah, she post dated them, I believe.
You already know you gotta post date the check. You already know what it is. Hey, look, the money ain't gonna hit the Thursday, but I need the food on Monday.
Yeah, I need the food today. Almost like the dude on Popeye. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a burger today.
Exactly.
And we go, and Doug, we going to like we have some money, man. We going to like we have money, man. I'm talking about, brother, we going in there, we buying whole turkeys, because they would cook. They didn't do like, it's weird to say this now, but they would cook. So my aunt bought a whole turkey. She buying a whole, I used to hate this. She used to buy the Cornish hens. So they going crazy just buying food.
I love Cornish hens. I love Cornish hens.
And it was, and we wasn't on, and the cool part was growing up with my grandma and them, I wasn't experiencing the kind of poverty that you would think, because it was just so much love around, so many good people around. We used to go see my great aunt Amy all the time. It was a great experience. Like, I got nothing but laughs and jokes. Like, my grandma would laugh so hard when my Aunt Bernie would use them bad checks. She said, Bern, you took my baby in there while you in there writing them bad checks. You going to jail, you trying to take my baby with you. She said, you said all the time, Bern, you going to take my baby to jail with you? So it was great. It was great. It was great. I used to love that.
I got to add, so Big Ma, she used to always, so we had a menu, you know what I'm saying? You knew what, Monday through Sunday, you knew exactly what was going to be on the menu. It never changed.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Did y'all have that same, was it the same way? Now, I will say, I lied. I'm lying. Because on Fridays, we may get fried green tomatoes, right? We may get that. But outside of Fridays, you know exactly what's on the menu You know what I'm saying? Breakfast. When I'm in school, I ain't really had lunch like that. But I knew when I was gonna come home, it'll be some ramen noodles, hot dog, ramen noodle, those type of things. And then I knew for dinner what the menu was gonna be, and that was how I kind of came up. Was that the same? Was there a set menu in the house for you?
It was weird because, like, I'm gonna speed up a little bit. When my grandfather passed, my grandma didn't have as much money as she used to. Mm-hmm. So just imagine you coming home on a Wednesday, y'all got a whole turkey like it's Thanksgiving, like, or y'all eating corn and cheese, y'all eating turkey chops, all that, and it was just funny. I just remember when he ended up passing, it just changed everything. So her money wasn't the same, but the thing that also happened was there was a dynamic of my mother wanted me back. So my mother was making a big deal. Hey, I want my son back. Blah, blah, blah. Where's my son? I want my son. But see, my grandma was raising me and my older cousin. He was about 6 months older than me. Our mom just was having issues. This is the early 90s. People like to, get a little high. They like to drink a little bit of that drink. So my grandma just tried to stand in the gap for us both. And what pretty much happened around 10, we kind of had growth spurts. So we kind of was being rough and tough, because what happened was this: you're growing up a certain way with grandma, and then you got to go outside, and those niggas is just crazy. You gotta get past all these niggas, man. It just be like Planet of the Apes, man. When I was growing up, it was just a bunch of little boys. There was a bunch of little boys, man, and everybody wanted to catch hands. I don't know what it is. They be throwing up signs. I ain't talking about the peace sign either. Yeah. So they be throwing up signs. So around 2000, when I ended up leaving, I was going to a school called Margaret Park. I ended up going to middle school. It was just really rough because there was gang banging and all this goofy stuff. But somebody identified that I could play football.
Hold on. Whoa. You done moved too fast. We
okay, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to address what you were speaking on, the neighborhood, right? That you were coming up in at that time before you went to the school. What was that neighborhood like? And I know you saying throwing up gang signs, those type of things, wanting to fight. But what was your experience? How did you interact with the neighborhood? How did they interact with you? What was that dynamic looking like? You know what I'm saying? When you were with your grandmother, I said myself, I kind of came up the same way. That's why I say me and you, I think we have a lot in common. When we didn't talk about this outside of this, but for the people growing up in that neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? I remember having individuals, they like, hey, man, no, go to the court, bro. You ain't supposed to be around us. Go to the court. And then we gonna come bet on you. Now, I ain't getting no money. I ain't getting no money out of none of this situation. But they are saying, man, don't be like us. Go play basketball. That's what they used to tell me. Did you have those type of influences where they were like, man, you don't need to be rocking with us? You know what I'm saying? You need to be doing something different. Did you have those type of influences in the neighborhood?
What I kind of had was a funny dynamic. Like I said, my grandma was the youngest of 12. So just imagine all the family and cousins we had, but everybody's older than me. I'm the youngest one. And what happened to me is what happens to a lot of kids that become tall. I was 5'10", 5'11" at 10 years old. So I was always
real quick, BBL. What size shoe you wore? I'm asking that for a reason.
I wore a 12.
Exactly. Look, they used to the old folk used to tell me, I don't know how you shoot. Act your age, not your shoe size. What they used to say, they couldn't tell me that. They couldn't say that to me because the same way with you, I wore a size 12 at 10 as well. So they couldn't tell me at my age, not my shoe size. They could never tell me that. Go ahead.
So the problem was very simple. You got a guy who looks like a man, but he's a baby in the mind. So that's just what it was. People looked at me and my older cousin as men. He was 5'9", I'm about 5'10", and we were 10 years old. I was 10. He might have been about to turn 11, and we would go in the neighborhood, and the guys around, was always just on some like, I don't know what it is about Cleveland, but people want to dominate you. That's just what it is. People want to dominate you. So I remember a guy, man, he got into a fight, right? And they pretty much picked this dude up and threw him in like an empty trash can, just on some trying to humiliate him type stuff, right? So I said, you know what? They won't do that to me. They won't even bother me. Keep in mind, they won't even bother me. They won't even bother me.
Hell, hey, look, if they could do it to him, you may be next. That's how you looking at it.
So to me, it just made me very, very violent. That's the best way I can put it in a nice way, make it YouTube friendly. And I almost, and I think about, it's funny when we're talking about this, I kind of caused a lot of the issues because I was scared. I was so scared that I wanted to attack immediately. Even if a cat didn't do nothing, I'm ready to take it to the top because you're not going to dominate me. You know, I don't have a brother, you know, at the time. You know, all my cousins like a brother, but I don't have no older brother to go get. So it's just me. So it's like, if you think you're going to do something, I'm going to hurt you bad. So I remember we went to the pool. You went to the pool. This is a prime example of this. Dude was saying something. Hey, you know how it is when you're at the pool with all the boys. Everybody talking crazy. Everybody saying what they're going to do. And I told the dude, if one of y'all put your hands on me, I'm gonna make you pay for it. So of course, they obliged me. When we got done at the pool, we went down to the basketball court and we was about to fight. But see, he didn't know I had something for him. I had a mechanical pencil. And when I pulled out the mechanical pencil, I turned into Blade. I don't know if you had ever seen that movie, Blade. So I had watched Blade.
Not a mechanical. Hold on, wait a minute. You deadly with a mechanical pencil?
So this is, let me tell you what happened. So I'm thinking, I'm swinging that mechanical pencil like it's a sword, pretty much. And I ended up hurting the guy by accident. To be honest with you, I just hurt him by accident. So I hit him, and the mechanical pencil, he had an earring in his ear, and it tore the earring out of his ear. And that just was the beginning of, hey, if you bother me, I'm going to hurt you. And it was so funny because now that I'm an adult, I look back, I started that whole thing. And it was just off me being afraid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just little things like that. When you look back, you just say, like, me being extra violent, me wanting to hurt people because I was scared. I didn't want them to hurt me to watch other people get hurt. So that's kind of why I was that way.
Hey, man, hey, I always say one of the worst people that you can never get in a fight with is a scared person, because it's gonna be something totally different. You know what I'm saying? But
oh yeah,
I want to move forward a little bit. So when you finally made it to middle school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you were saying that's when you kind of caught your growth spurt.
Mm-hmm.
They figured out that, hey, this brother may be great at a sport, especially
mm-hmm.
football, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that transition like to understand, well, I may have a path out of here, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've seen it from the beginning. Did you see it from the beginning? That's the question. Did you see it from the beginning as far as football goes? And then when the transition was made, what was that like for you?
It was in 6th grade when the transition was made. See, the thing was, I played basketball because everybody in the neighborhood played basketball.
Right.
So I played a lot of basketball growing up. I didn't even really know about football, but just being, people seeing a guy, that was my size.
And for the record, if you had to quantify your size, when you say your size, then quantify it for the people.
When I say my size, okay, so I'm 6'5" now. But I'm a different 6'5" because I got broad shoulders. So I'm a naturally big man. I got almost like what you would call a Mike Tyson build, where I got a big build, but then I'm tall. So the thing about having a big build, you can easily like put weight on, and you can take punishment on the football field because you got that frame to you, where like most of ball players would be tall, kind of skinny. Where I was like, my favorite player growing up, well I didn't watch him because I was a kid, but I used to love Charles Barkley. So I used to say, I'm gonna be like Charles Barkley, man. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna go to the NBA like every other kid. I'm going pro. Like that's what I would say. But what happened was I ended up going to, because it's weird. Back then, it's not like that now, I'm sure. But it was so many like Catholics and Mormons around the black people back then. They would like do a lot of witnesses and stuff. And one of the guys was like, let me see you do something. And I was like, what you want me to do? He said he'd give me $20. So he said, give me $20. He was showing me how pretty much like how to do protection drills. So he was saying, man, you can move. You can do this. You can do that. He said, man, you should be playing some football. I'm like, nah, man, everybody I know play basketball. I want to play basketball with my niggas. I said it just like that. And he was like, no, man, you're going to play football. You're going to play football, son. And from there, I was playing what they call midget league. I don't know if they call it that anymore, but I played midget league.
You said, hold on. You said midget league?
That's what they call it back then. I don't know what they call it now for the kids.
Right.
It was called midget league. It's like what little kids play from, what was the age group? It was 11 to 13. That's what they call it back then. I'm trying to think, do they call it Pee-wee now? Is that a better word?
Pee-wee, maybe. No,
okay, maybe Pee-wee.
Pee-wee's smaller, but Pee-wee's smaller than that.
But yeah, it basically, that's what they call it. I don't know why they call it that, but they call it midget league back then. Anyway, so I was playing like football before you get to high school. And when I was playing, I was very good as a lineman. I used to play lineman and I played tight end. From playing all that basketball, I could jump higher than most. And I was pretty like, light on my feet from just playing ball. And it really translated to the football field. So I won MVP as a lineman as in Little League. So we played Little League for about 3 years, pretty much all in middle school till we got to high school. And which is very rare, I actually won MVP twice out of those 3 years. So that's how good I was playing as a little kid.
Okay. So before we move forward on that, I got to ask this question. I got to say, and because now, you have the Pop Warners, like Free said, what was your grandparents' thoughts and your parents' thoughts when you playing sports? Did they agree with it? Did they want you in it? Did they not want to see BBO getting hit on the head on a regular basis? Like, what were your parents' thoughts about it?
Well, let me say this before I go. When I went to middle school, my 6th grade year of middle school, somehow I ended up living back with my mom.
Right.
And I was with my mom at Big BBO, and they always have been together, but they just kind of had a tumultuous relationship where my dad would be at home, they'd get in an argument, you won't see him for 3 days. But then he'd be back at home, you know what I mean? But they had that they still together to this day. But they always had that tumultuous relationship where they would go back and forth. So at my grandmother's house, I had a lot of structure. So coming to my mom's house, I could pretty much do what I want because my mom worked late. My mom worked, what was that shift she had? She would work
third shift.
Yeah, third shift. So I think she worked it was a mid shift. So she worked like, I want to say 10 to 11. Yeah, 2 to 10. Yeah, 2 to 10,
something like that.
She worked 2 to 10. So when she at work, my dad be at work. They both work, which is to me was crazy. They both work like late shifts. So while they gone, they say stay in the house. The last thing I'm gonna do is stay in the house. So I'm out, and we live in a project. So I'm out, and you know how it is. I don't know if you know how it is in the project, but in the projects, all the kids is outside.
Absolutely.
We all doing our thing. We all talking crazy. We all ready to go. But the part that was so funny was that's when I started getting in trouble when I went with my mom because my mom was at work. And I'm out there with the other little boys, and we playing tap football. We playing baseball. We having fun, but it's always that element when we go down to the other projects of those kids that want to like play gangster. And and I always say this, BBO being, Mr. Scared Man, I'm ready to hurt somebody because I'm not gonna be dominated. That's the thing. I know that sounds crazy, but you had to be there. You had to be there. And if you let those dudes
take advantage of you, if they take advantage of you one time, they're gonna continuously do it.
It's not gonna be. We're gonna give them a break. That's not how that works.
It don't work like that.
So the funny thing was when we would go down to the other project was considered like where all the low lifes and losers live, because those kids' moms didn't work. Where in my projects, everybody's mom and dad had jobs. Well, back then it was just straight Section 8 niggas, as my dad would call it. So when you go down there, they want to grab your book bag. They want to try to see what you got. They want to hurt you because they heard you got a Lunchable. Now this is funny. If you got a Lunchable, niggas want to fight you about that Lunchable. I don't know if you remember those Lunchables that come in a yellow box.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was a big deal to have a Lunchable. So we walking through the thing, dude's trying to go through my bag. I'm like, bro, you're not about to go through my bag. So I end up taking my I don't know what you call it. I had my ruler. So I had a ruler, and you remember back then they had hubcaps. So I went up to right where somebody's car was, you know, them old raggedy cars they got in the hood. I'll take a hubcap off. Dude, we go up to the spot. I'm holding the hubcap. Dude don't know what I'm holding. He think I got like something in my hand, like a tambourine or something. Dude try to unzip my bag. Pow! Man, I hit him. All the meat on his nose came off. And it was like you ever do something like, dang, I ain't mean to do all that.
Yeah. Not the police would get involved in this shit, man.
And that's exactly what happened. His mom called the police, and the police was asking me what happened. I said, hey, I thought he was going to rob me, blah, blah, blah. Police said, come on with me, son, blah, blah, blah. He take me. This is back when they would take you home. So he took me home. We talked about it, and it just would be the thing, because I had to walk through that neighborhood to get to school. So, and it was always an incident. And then what started happening is the cops, which is cool, they would start beating on you. The cops would start beating on you. I remember my cousin, who I was just telling y'all about, he told the cop that we heard this term, suck my dick, excuse my language. And he told the cop to suck his dick. And the cop said, oh, suck your dick. Next thing you know, the cop slammed the Sonic coins out my cousin. I mean, he slammed him hard, bro. I was talking about on the concrete. He slammed me so hard on the concrete, bro. I thought he was dead, bro. I thought he was dead. And this cop's name was Mad Dog. But I look at it now, Mad Dog was trying to save us from ended up bad, man. Because we like I said, growing up scared to death. That's all it was, a bunch of scared kids that don't know how to communicate with each other. And that's when you start having the weapon play and all that. But the thing I learned about all this, sorry for going on and on, was that it was just a lot of...
Wait a minute. Don't be sorry. This is your show, nigga.
But it just was the kids, our parents were so young. They worked at places like Rite Aid, Get Go, Pack and Save, Sunoco. So they wasn't working real jobs. So it was leaving us kids to kind of raise ourselves. And if we went with our grandparents, man, we was doomed. And I've seen so many guys grow up without parents, because what would happen is we started seeing people's grandmothers start passing, grandfathers start passing like mine did. And you could just see these kids coming up with no real guidance, and they would become violent. And I would remember them before they became violent. I'm thinking like, oh, he like that now? No, he like to unalive people now. Oh, for real? Yeah. So it was just a dynamic of, I hate that we didn't have more structure around. I hate that we didn't have more structure. It was just a bunch of little boys going at each other. And some of us got scars, man, including myself, from just being overly reckless, being scared to death, ready to make it happen at a moment's notice. I remember my cousin got into a doggone knife fight over a small disagreement. It was a small disagreement. We was arguing better player, Iverson versus Kobe. This is like 2001. Everybody said Iverson was the man. Everybody. So my cousin said, oh, I told y'all Kobe the man. And dude said, no, fuck you. He said, no, fuck you. And then next thing you know, they pull out these little knives and they about to have a doggone knife fight over a doggone argument. So it's just little stuff like that. I can say I hated how I grew up in my neighborhood where we didn't have no OGs and nobody to stop us, man.
Yeah. And it's so interesting listening to it because it reminds me of my childhood a lot. But I want to ask this. So you finally get into middle school. That's when you start playing football, correct?
Correct.
And so how did football, with you being and getting into middle school, starting to play, how did it change your life?
Football brought something to my life I had never had, which was a discipline. Because what happens is this. I'm gonna say this. I don't want to be too long-winded. When a lot of us play football as kids, we don't learn the lessons that we should because we're trying to play the sport for a profession. And I can say it was little lessons that I should have learned, like sportsmanship, humility, that I didn't learn because I was so good, so young. I wish I would have learned those lessons early and not just tried to play the doggone sport for a profession. Because I really didn't get none out of it till I got an adult. That's why I say that.
Okay. So now that you're in middle school, you're able to play football. I figure if you're good at it, as we know, anybody, if you're good at something, then you get a little more cachet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You get a little more cachet in the community, at school, any of that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're playing the sports. And I've lived that life myself. So what was the different treatment that you received, that you saw? As far, and this is before we even got to high school yet, just at when you figured out that you're good at football and then I may have something here. What was the different treatments that you seen, and how did the reactions towards you change when you were going and becoming the player that you became?
The biggest thing you learn is the people who said you wasn't shit, all of a sudden are nice to you. All the people who say, "Oh, he's a thug, he's gonna do that," because when I was going through these little, I missed that part. But when I was going through these little things, I spent a lot of time in the youth authority, just going back and forth to youth authority.
Oh, wait a minute. We got to double back now. So first off, and I'm pretty sure I would call it something different than the youth authority, but break down what the youth authority is for the people who don't know. And I believe I know what you're saying, but
yeah, the youth authority is just pretty much baby jail where they get young black kids ready for prison. And you got to walk with your hands behind your back. You get 3 hots in a cot, and it kind of gets you. I hate to say it gets you ready for prison. Because you in a big dorm with a bunch of crazy niggas, and you really in there throwing hands. You really in there fighting and hitting people. You know what? Going to youth authority can make you worse. It makes you worse. Because you might genuinely be a nice kid who might just be like I was, scared to death and was going to hurt people so he wouldn't be hurt. And you know what happens, you go to youth authority, you meet some really bad kids. I mean, because when I was young, there was a movie called Belly. I don't know if anybody remember that movie, Belly.
Shout out to Belly, man. Shout out to Belly.
In the beginning of that movie, DMX was making a pentagram, right?
Facts.
And that's the first time I remember niggas really being evil, is when I went to the youth authority, where you would see niggas didn't believe in God. They'll tell you, I don't believe in God, blah, blah, blah. If there's a God, wow, I'm so effed up. And you get around niggas who really evil, and because I grew up with that Christian background, that, yo, I need to get myself together. I need to get myself together. But the thing that helped me about the youth authority was I had a long stint. I had to do a whole summer. And my grandma didn't call me. She didn't come see me. She didn't talk to me. And it changed me to where it was just why is she not coming down here to come see me? I had a cousin, God rest his soul. My cousin Kevin stayed in jail. He was in jail so much, we thought he was coming back to see somebody. So his mom, his sister coming to see him. They bringing him gifts. I don't get to go to the day room and see nobody because nobody came to see me. And I think when I got out that last time, getting ready to go to high school, a coach told me, he said, I can't do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. and I did it. So that's kind of what happened.
Amazing. So, and I want to say the story so far is a brother pulling himself up by the bootstraps. That's what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? People are very critical of the way that we do things today, Black people specifically. Mm-hmm. And to hear a brother that's coming up, pulling himself up by the bootstraps, understanding this is not where I need to be at.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So let me ask, making the transition from middle school to high school, right? Mm-hmm. You're an athlete now. You know what I'm saying? You got a little clout on your name. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be, I ain't going to say the next coming of anything, but you big time. You big time. Mm-hmm. As far as the small communities that we come from, you big time now. So you get to high school. What was high school like for you?
So it's kind of a two-part thing. The crazy thing was I got invited to Jonathan Ogden's camp. I don't know if you guys know Jonathan Ogden. Shout out to Jonathan
Ogden, one of the Hall of Famer within his own right.
Him and I don't know if you guys ever heard of Orlando Pace. They had camp. And my uncle, God rest his soul, William White. You can look him up. Played at Ohio State. Played for the Detroit Lions. Played for the Dirty Bird Falcons that went to the Super Bowl against John Elway. So my uncle, I would see my uncle in the summer. He wasn't my uncle, but see, he was older than me. He was married to my cousin. So pretty much anybody older than you when I was coming up, I grew up in a Black home. You got to put a handle on. So you had to call. You had to call everybody. You had to call everybody uncle, unless even if they wasn't, they were just an older cousin. You just had to call them uncle or not.
You don't call nobody by their first name.
Nobody. That's why now I don't call nobody Mr. Nothing. There's nothing. It's always your first name. Unless you old and I really just feel like I'm gonna respect you, but it's always whatever your first name is for me because of that. But make a long story long, as Maya Reed would say. My cousin Nicole was married to Will, and Uncle Will and Nikki would come up, and they lived in Columbus because that's where he ended up settling down in Columbus because he went to Ohio State and all that, played with Chris Carter and all that. And he came up to me and he gave me some real Jews. He was trying to tell me he's from Lima, Ohio. Lima, Ohio is a real effed up place, but a lot of football players come out of there. And he was like, you know what? I think you can do something, little man. I said, you think so? He said, yeah, you can do something, little man. I'm gonna do this and that. And he ended up getting me in the Jonathan Ogden camp. Got me in Orlando Pace camp because it was so crazy because he had Orlando Pace's phone number. And for me as a kid, Orlando Pace was that guy. I'm like, you could talk to him?
Hey, Orlando Pace was a beast. He was a beast.
And he talked to me on the phone. This is back when they had the flip phones with the green screen. So it wasn't like you could FaceTime or nothing. So we on the phone talking. He just giving me some love, blah, blah, blah. And my cousin, Nicole, marries Uncle Will, and they end up having Barry Sanders there as his best man. And man, when I got to meet Barry, it was just like, I don't know if anybody remembers Barry Sanders. When I was a child, Barry Sanders was like God. He was, because I'm in Cleveland.
I ain't going that far. He ain't got.
No, I'm talking about on the football field.
I agree with you
on the football field.
That man.
I'm not talking about. That's how I'm talking about. I'm trying to give you an example of how much we loved him. Not saying he was Jesus Christ, but I'm saying that's how much we loved Barry. And because the Browns was sucked back then, they sucked, and I think they just sucked when they got back. Whenever they came back in 2099, they was awful. It was always awful. We went to the playoffs in 2003. And after that, it was just awful. But make a long story longer, I got to meet Barry. And as I met Barry, it started being clear to me that I probably could do it. So anyway, make a long story short, my Uncle Will makes some calls. And I ended up talking to what we used to call I call the white guy Mr. Gilmore. So I ended up meeting Mr. Gilmore. And he became like a lot of black kids. He became like a white daddy. And he kind of schooled me and said, I'm going to put you in an all-boys school, because I think you need the structure. So he put me in an all-boys school, which was different because you growing up in the hood, with all these dudes. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like Planet of the Apes. Then you go from that to like, when I stand with this coach, I mean, they eating dinner together, they sitting at the table, they watching boring ass Seinfeld. It was like a culture shock, though. It was like a culture shock, man. And I always thought to myself, my mom and dad is like the biggest. Y'all gonna let me live with this white dude? Y'all don't even know him. That was just the thing that was crazy. And they was like, well, if he can be as good as we think we can, all you have to pay is $3 a month. I mean, $3 a year for him to go here. So my grandma said, I'll pay the $3 a year if he can go to school and get an opportunity. And I played in my freshman year. We got to play against a team called Garfield. There was a player named Chris Wells. His name was Beanie Wells.
Shout out to Beanie Wells, man.
He was one of the best players I had ever played against. Yeah. And he dominated us, but he just didn't have no team, so we blew them out by like 50. But he had almost 250 yards with no line. And I said, who is this nigga? You know what I mean? And then when you start playing, there was a guy that came along too. I don't know if you guys remember Mitchell Trubisky. So Money Making Mitch was like a white Mike Vick. So the thing I learned big time was when I started playing at the high school level, it was a whole different line. It was a whole different type of talent level. It wasn't the same as what it before, where I was just good. I didn't have to work. I had to actually start hitting the weights. I had to eat right. And for me, what I always had to do was I had to eat out these little, I don't know if you remember the little plastic trays they used to have back then, Doug? Yeah. Where you had to watch everything you ate because, I'll blow up. So my thing was to stay at 250, 260. So I had to watch what I ate. And I noticed that my freshman year wasn't as good. It's because I didn't eat the right way. But what happened was when I got to my sophomore year, I started eating the right way and I started lifting. And I found something called clenbuterol, which people don't know a lot about.
Wait a minute. We're going to get into the clenbuterol because I got a whole lot you already know I do, especially because we're going to be talking boxing later on. Yeah. I want to ask this first, though, before we get to that point. Just the lifestyle coming up in a high school, I can't understand it because, I went to public school. Mm-hmm. You go into an all-male school, I'm going to just be honest, it's a little weird to me. It's a little weird because that's when we, that's when we starting to feel ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's when you want to deal with the females, those type of things. What was the all-male school like outside of sports, outside of that? What was that environment like?
It was, it was like a frat house because I was going to a Catholic school and the girls' school was right next door. Like you can walk to it. So you can walk across to it. But they believed to keep the boys and girls separate. So we were always at lunchtime, me and other little bad little boys, we going to go holler at the chicks. I got a couple of dollars to buy a couple of bags of chips because I remember my thing was they had that T-Pain, so I'm gonna buy you a drink. So I would take any money I had, and I'm trying to buy all the chicks drinks if I can, the ones that I like. And I remember, the biggest change was when you go to your friend's house and you spend a night, and they live like in something that look like a mansion, or they driving a Range Rover, or they dad driving a 7 Series Benz like it's a Honda Accord. It's like, dang. It make you think to myself, like, am I that poor? Am I that poor? That was just the biggest thing was growing up with, and you was growing up in a white environment. And those white guys, man, they had a lot of money, man. I think the coolest part of it was that there wasn't really any racism at that time. It was just young dudes all trying to figure it out. Some was going to be lawyers, some was going to be doctors. A lot of lawyers and doctors come from St. Ignatius. So St. Ignatius is where you had Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, Brian Hoyer. So we were like a known football powerhouse. It was us in a school called St. Edward's. And we was like little rivals, and we would just go back and forth over who was great. But the environment was great. I fit right in. I was like a black Zach Morris, man. because I was looking to get out the hood so I could spread my wings. And one thing I've always been, as my grandma used to say, I've always been a very charming person. So when you get around, as we call it, white folks back then, it just grew to, wow, I love this guy. And then you get a chance to really talk to like different women at the first time. Because when I was growing up in, with my mom, we in the hood, it's only black girls. Over here, they got Puerto Rican, Dominican, they got white. I never liked white girls because my grandma always said if she can't use a comb, don't bring her home. So I never ever liked white girls. So that didn't really do nothing for me. But I just couldn't believe that them Puerto Rican girls look black. And it'd be like, dang, she look black, but she not. And for some reason, if a chick had baby hair, I was like, yo, I got me something exotic. I don't know why I should look at it like that. Like if a chick had that baby, you know what I'm talking about? Like that Ashley
I know
Banks
exactly. I already know exactly what you're talking about.
If they had that Ashley Banks look, you like, oh, I gotta get her. And then I start seeing chicks that was like what we would call blue black with that same hair. I'm like, what are you? I'm a Dominican. You a Dominican?
Dominican, a Dominican.
Yeah. And I used to always, because I heard it on Martin, I used to always tell the chicks I knew French, and they'd be like, say something in French? And I would always be like, Lisa Bonnet. I used to do that all the time, and the girl would just crack up laughing because I said that. But I used to love it, man, because we would go across the thing. I would brush my hair all night, look in the mirror, making sure my hair was on spin. So when I was talking to the ladies, they could see me. I would brush. It was where I used to have like a big gap before I got my braces and stuff, and I would make sure my teeth were shining. It was just the women really motivated me to want to do better. That's what it was.
And that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. So yeah. I want to ask, and when you get into the seasons, those type of things, when you're finally starting to flourish as far as football goes, first things first, what positions did you play? I know
I played right guard. I played left guard, but when I ended up doing really well, right guard was my permanent position. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so you get to high school, you're making a name for yourself. Y'all doing well in the sport. You're starting to be recruited.
Mm-hmm.
What was recruitment like for you, and how did you think, did you think that you were going to be going to college to play football, and what was recruitment like for you?
Well, my grandma ruined my recruitment because I had no choice. I was going to Bowling Green no matter what because my uncle was there. My uncle was a teacher there, so I was already going to Bowling Green. So I went on a couple of visits, but it was already clear you're going to Bowling Green. That's what I was told, and that's what you did back then. If I could have did something now, I would have went different. But I remember I went to go see Fresno State. I got to go see Ohio State. And the cool thing about going to, Bowling Green was Urban Meyer had just left a few years before. They had a brand new practice facility, and they had a pretty decent football program. Because one thing about where I am in Northeast Ohio, it's a lot of dogs. Bob Stoops came from here from a school called Cardinal Moon. Bob Stoops used to be the coach of Oklahoma. The DeBarlows, I don't know if you're familiar with Eddie DeBarlo, who owned the 49ers.
Absolutely.
All those guys were in this area. So it was like a football powerhouse where you could pretty much go where you want, but I never had a choice. It was you going to Bowling Green. It was pretty much I was going to Bowling Green. So I took some trips and I had some fun, but I always knew that I was going to be stuck going to Bowling Green.
You knew it from the beginning. The beginning. Now, I want to go back because you brought up clenbuterol.
Mm-hmm.
And break down, in high school, you're saying you were taking clenbuterol at the time in high school, correct?
Right.
What did it do for the body for you?
So when you get around rich white kids, I'm going to be honest, they got access to drugs. Like that's the first time I seen creatine. Because what I used to see dudes, when dudes was like bulking when I was in the hood, they eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They eating peanut butter sandwiches. They ain't drinking no protein shakes. But a dude told me, he said, man, I know you having a hard time keeping your weight where you wanted to keep it. And like at 250, 260, I'm six-packed out, looking good. So he was like, well, you use this will heat your body up. It's a horse steroid. He said, when the horses have asthma, open their lungs up. So this will heat your body up and open your lungs up. I'm like, all right, great. So I ended up taking it, and they got it in pill form. So I took it in pill form, and it kept my weight spot on. It kept my weight spot. Only thing is you would run a fever a lot. And you would run a fever, and then you would break the fever, because what you have to do is get under the covers and heat yourself up or whatever, break the fever, and then you can feel back normal. But it was nothing more but something just to keep your weight down.
Okay. So you finally you get through your, well, first off, if you had to describe the best season you had in high school, how would you describe it? Football wise.
Football wise, I'm gonna speak on team success. We finished third in the state 3 years in a row. It's funny, the schools I was supposed to go to in the inner city kept beating us to go to the state championship game. We couldn't get past them, and they couldn't get past the team downstate because they ain't have no kicker of all things, no kickers in the hood. So it was just one of them things where it was just like, I can't explain to you when you just getting close and close, and then you could never close the deal. That's one thing I remember about my high school career. We could never close the deal, and it was so funny. My senior year, we meet this guy who ended up becoming Kareem Hunt. He's from Willoughby. He was going to be our running back, but he ended up getting into some BS, and he wasn't allowed to come to the school. So I was all excited my senior year. Well, we about to have this dude Kareem, because Kareem was a monster. He was a monster in midget league. So I knew when we got him, we was gonna be on. But he kept getting in trouble just being him. Shout out to my man Kareem.
Well, the shit didn't fall. I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But
yeah, Willoughby is real jacked up like where I grew up, so that's why. Yeah.
All right, so you make it through high school. Well, first off, last question about high school. What was your favorite subjects, and what did you, as far as schooling go? Not football. I almost said basketball. Not football, but as far as schooling went, what did you enjoy about high school, school-wise?
I was in an epicenter of learning. I got to meet some of the most brilliant teachers that you can imagine. That was the best part. I did really, really well, but because of that little half a year, because I didn't come to like my, half a year, my freshman year, my math grade was from freshman was too low. I was trying to get into Brown, so I couldn't get in because my math score was too low. And I wasn't going to go up to summer school and fix it. So it was just one of them things. But it was great because history is my favorite subject. And I used to love to be able to talk to the professors we had. They would give you great insight on what happened. Like, that's the first time I heard about Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's the first time I heard about the Harlem Renaissance. The first time I ever heard of, business and how business works. It all kind of came from going to school there, and I just appreciate those people. Mr. Smith, Mr. Edward. I still remember these guys. Mr. Kidd, just giving me an opportunity to learn and become better through learning. And people don't understand that when you get an opportunity to become traditionally educated, it really opens up a lot of doors for you.
That's a fact. Especially when you say traditionally educated. So you graduate high school, you go to Bowling Green, right? Mm-hmm. What was Bowling Green like? You're a guard there. You're playing football. You will start. So what was Bowling Green like for you?
It was easy, and because it was easy, because what happened is this is gonna sound funny, but when I started taking the eating right down, I did everything else. But when I ate right, I was on a different level. I was on a different level. Around my junior year, we end up almost making it to the we had a bid to almost make the Fiesta Bowl. We didn't make it because we ended up losing. And my senior year, I ended up tearing the inside of my hip up real bad. And it was so bad, you know, with my hip that I kept getting like what they call cortisone shots in my hip, that I started losing the color of my thigh from getting hit with that cortisone needle. That's how much I was getting hit with it. And
if y'all don't know the cortisone needle, that mug respectfully, I say this respectfully. That motherfucker, it's about 8 inches when they get ready to shoot you up. You be like, wait a minute, hold on, you about to stick that in me? Wait a minute. And then when they do it, I had cortisone shots in my knee. When they do it, they sit there and move the needle around while it's inside you. You be like, oh, what are we doing right now? What is going on? Go ahead, break that down. Break that down. BJ, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
No, you good.
But yeah, they, like you said, they move it around because they want to hit a certain spot, and those doctors, they were not honest with me about what I was going through. I'm telling them I'm hurt. I can't play. They're like, well, you got a scholarship, you gotta play. It was just tough, man. It was tough. And I played through a lot of injuries I shouldn't have. And it cost me, I think, what could have been a decent career in the NFL because I just kept playing instead of resting. And whenever you're injured, whatever body part is messed up, something else is going to take its place and overwork itself. So
yep, you overcompensate. Overcompensate.
So that was a big thing. But I had a good time. We went to the Outback Bowl. We played Tennessee. We got the doors blown off of us. It was a great experience because I had got to go to a bowl game, and I had never seen that many white women in one area looking for us. It was crazy, man. I felt like we was B2K. I thought I was in Europe. It was so many white women at that hotel when we got there, bro. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. I thought I was in Europe, dog, all them white women. And then that's the first time, if I would have liked white girls, I would have asked for them. Was the white girls, the woodies, the ones with big old booties that look like black chicks. I had never seen that. Well, my homeboy said, it's the big time, dog. It's the big time. So that's the one thing I will say. I couldn't believe all those white women was in the hotel waiting on us after we got beat like that.
I ain't mad at you. Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I hope y'all took advantage. Of whatever was happening. Anyway, but so you make it through high school, college. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to get out in the professional world, right? What did the transition look like for you as far as the professional world and just leaving a place where you were a star? You know what I'm saying? You were recognized, and now you're no longer there. Now you got to make you got to be a professional,
right?
What was the transition like there?
It was very simple because I had some really good people. So I knew I was going to sell cars no matter what. I was going to sell cars no matter what because I found out a lot of former athletes do very well in the car business. So I knew I was going to sell cars and make good money. But I ended up getting a tryout. I had went to what they call the regional combine. If you don't get invited to the main combine in Indy, which is like 3 hours from here, they have a regional. So I went to the regional, did really well. And then I got a call from Seattle. Seattle said, come on, let's work you out. Let's see what you can do. I went out there. I did really, really well. I knew the playbook because we had pretty much ran the West Coast offense at Bowling Green. So I kind of knew all the protections. Only thing that changes in football is the terminology of the plays, but the plays are all the exact same.
Right.
So I knew all the plays, blah, blah, blah. We get out there. I end up going out there. And I ended up getting to meet Richard Sherman, which was cool. I ended up becoming his rookie. At that time, there was a guy named Matt Flynn there. They thought
Matt Flynn, man. Shout out to Matt Flynn.
They thought he was going to be the starter. And this kid, Russell Wilson, came and he just blew everybody out the water. He was a very, very good player. But I didn't like Russell. Me and another teammate, he would talk crazy to us because we was on the practice squad. And when you're a rookie free agent, you're at the bottom of the pole. Like you at the bottom.
Hold on, you carrying bags? You carrying bags?
Oh, you carrying bags. You going to get donuts.
Yeah, you hate that.
You want to wash people's cars. You be about to be damn near late trying to get to your stuff.
You're doing what they asking you to do. Right.
But it was cool because I had never been to Seattle, and I was in the Central District. We was working on in Tacoma, which is right outside of Seattle. I couldn't believe it was so many black people in Seattle. So I was all excited about that. But what ended up happening is injuries from before kept creeping up on me. They just kept creeping up on me. I kept staying on the gurney. And that's when I heard that classic line that the coach told me was, he said, BVO, you like that gurney, man. You like the oxygen on your face. You like to lay on that gurney, don't you? Because I just kept getting hurt. And what ended up happening is I ended up getting cut because I just wasn't available, because I just wasn't the same. And then I ended up going down to San Diego to try with the Chargers, and it just was the same thing. I just could not stay healthy. So I only got to play in 2 preseason games, but I just couldn't stay healthy. So I really did. That's why I don't really talk about it that much, because it wasn't nothing but a year, but it was just a year of injury and pain. It was just pain. Found out the doctor shouldn't have been shooting me with that much cortisone, that I was messing up different things in my hips that they wouldn't be the same. It was just a sad story. But what ended up happening is when I came home, I told my granny, I said, hey, Granny G, I'm about to quit. I'm done with this football stuff. And she said, well, I'm going to back you. And now that sounds simple, but when I heard her say, I'm going to back you, man, that meant the world to me.
It's always nice to have somebody in your corner. It feels good to have somebody in your corner.
She said it just like that. She said, I'll back you. She said,
I got you.
And I don't know, not that she gave me no money or nothing. She just said, I'll back you. And her just saying that meant the world. And I ended up working at a car dealership. It was cool because I was a natural salesman. I sold 17 my first month. Then I sold 25 the next month. And then before you know it, I was averaging 25 a month. I was being lazy because once I got my 25, I had my max bonus. I was done for the month. I know that sounds bad, but anybody ever worked a commission job, once I maxed out my bonus, I was through.
What you want me to work extra for?
So I was one of them guys, and they seen that I took the sales real easy. Then they made me a sales manager. I pretty much been a sales manager for the last 10 years now, and it worked out because I was able to, because I knew people in the league and stuff, I was able to buy properties young. I was able to learn a big lesson that you got to pay taxes, because I came home, I thought I had some money. I didn't have nothing, because all that money I had spent, I had to pay back. I had to pay the taxes. You go broke paying taxes. That's how you go broke, paying taxes. So I ended up paying the taxes, and it was funny because something happened where I did something wrong, because I had never dealt with no I-9 before, you know what I mean? I had never did none of that stuff, you know what I mean? And I remember I had to use my car money, and I would see like so they would tell you made $15,000 a month, but after you get taxes, it's barely 10, dog. So I'm like, dang, they taking all that money, you know what I mean? So I didn't understand that part about the whole taxes thing, but it really worked out, man, because I was able to, with my wife.
You moving too fast.
My bad.
That's where we going next. We going next.
Okay.
Before we go there,
Mm-hmm.
As far as the things and the lessons learned, you know what I'm saying? I always got to ask this question with anybody who's done anything major in their career, their life.
Mm-hmm.
The lessons learned, you know what I'm saying, from how do I want to put it? The lessons learned from moving through the NFL the way that you did, you know what I'm saying? Not being there and possibly, you know what I'm saying, not really starting a game, but just being there. And what was the biggest lessons that you learned from that situation, being a part of the NFL?
I would say the biggest lesson I learned was that there's no shortcuts. If I would have not used different shortcuts, I probably would have been a better player. Me using computer raw was ridiculous. Me not sitting down and getting myself healthy was ridiculous. So I really learned that, you know what, you got to take time to get better. And rushing the process, as my grandma used to say, she's always say, trust the process. I would rush the process so much that I put myself in more danger because I rushed the process. But the coolest part about football was, especially, I kind of skipped over this part, but when I was in college, we went to something called Football Beyond Borders. I've been to Turkey, Istanbul, and back. I went to Japan. I was able to go to China. I was able to go to Senegal, South Africa. I was in Johannesburg. I've been to Botswana. So through football, a kid like me, food stamp kid, was able to kind of travel, and it was great, man. It was a great thing. You got to meet different people. And the biggest thing I learned from football is that it's the greatest game that God ever created. Football is the greatest game God ever created. I don't have no sad story. Do I wish I could have played? Yeah, but you know what? I look at it like this, Dub. I didn't put the work in like I should have. So I thank God for letting me experience that. You know what I mean? But when I was taking little shortcuts, I look at it now like taking clean, not working hard enough. Because I was so good young that I didn't work like I should have. That's just what it was. I didn't work like I should have. So it was just a big lesson, but I loved it, man. I loved every bit of it.
So let me ask this. I want to ask, and want to finish up with the college career or the football career in general. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So outside of that, is there anything you regret, right? As far as, and I know what you just said, not working out, taking clean, those type of things, but on a personal level, relationships, did you miss anything? And you were like, man, I should have maintained this relationship better so I could have had this opportunity. Or did you think everything worked out how it was supposed to?
I wish I would have did better by different people and friends wise, because football was the main focus. So I lost touch with a lot of friends. I was always all about me and me trying to get up to a certain place. So I lost a lot of friendships because football was my main thing. And I just really hate that I put football up against so many. I even put football before my grandma at times. I just wish I wouldn't have did that. And you know, it kind of make my eyes sweat when I think about like I should have just done so much better when I was playing, but I kept trying to make football my life, and I shouldn't have did that. That's my main regret. Okay,
and I think we all, anybody who doesn't play sports, we all have certain regrets about some of the choices that we end up making, putting that sport ahead of different things in our lives, regardless of what it is or who it is. We've all had those opportunities, and well, I ain't gonna say we all, but I understand exactly what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I always say one person I always feel bad for is my grandmother, because my grandmother, outside of it, my grandma, she raised me too. You know what I'm saying? Jehovah's Witness. And there were times where I got upset with her for not allowing me to do certain things. Now, when I look back at it today, I look at it and I'm like, well, that probably was best for me. But I didn't see it that way at that current moment in time. You know what I mean? And you may say some things, do some things that you regret. But I want to move forward. So you become a professional. You're selling cars out here. I want to talk a little bit about how you met your wife, if you don't mind.
Oh, that's perfect.
How did that whole relationship happen? And how did y'all meet? How did y'all begin to bond? And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe y'all been married now, what, 12 years? Is it 12?
It'll be 11 in August. 11.
Excuse me, 11. Yep. I apologize. I'm out of order.
Oh, no, that's cool.
But That's a beautiful thing. First off, we got to show the love there because that's a beautiful thing. How did y'all meet, and what was that dynamic like early on? And you know, you ain't got to tell us everything because
I know
we don't need to know everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But break that. How did that all happen for you?
So before I went to the car dealership, I worked at a grocery store. And I worked at it was a black-owned grocery store. The guy was like a mentor. Shout out to Mr. J. And she worked at the bank inside the grocery store. I don't know if they do that where you at, but here they'll have the grocery store, and then they'll have a bank inside the grocery store. So she
hold on.
Bank.
Wait a minute. It's a real bank?
Yeah. It's like a little bank. Like what they'll do is you can go shopping, but say they'll have Chase, or they'll have Fifth Third, or they'll have Huntington. You know what I mean? And you know, in the actual thing. So if you need to get some money from the bank, like a little mini bank. So she was working at the little mini bank.
I'm gonna let y'all have that one. We ain't got. I don't see that too often now. I don't see that too often.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I thought that was kind of the thing, but it's like they just have like a bank. It's like a bank location inside the actual grocery store. That's what it is. So anyway, she worked at the bank, and I'm like, you know, who is this girl? It's like, you know, because, you know, being Dominican, I'm like, oh, man, she look black. But she not. So, you know me, when I seen the baby hair, I was like, oh, okay, I got to see what's up with her.
Here we go with the baby hair again. Here we go.
And I went up to her, and I just said, can you cook? And she like, yo, what do you mean, can I cook? That's my first question to her was, can you cook? And she's like, I can cook, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I ain't talking about no hot dogs and hamburger. I'm talking about, can you cook for real? And she was like, yeah. So we end up going on a date, and it was funny because we went on we went to like a steakhouse, and I'm like 22, 23. I'm thinking like, dang, she want me to take her to a steakhouse? You know, I'm used to, because you around these girls, I'm used to taking chicks to get a pizza and a pop. So somebody wants you to go spend some money. You're like, what? I ain't trying to spend no money. But make a long story longer, she ended up going to the restaurant. We went, and then the next day we went and we got dinner on her. And it's gonna sound crazy. I had never had a woman buy me nothing. So I just really respect, like, man, she paid the bill. That's what's up. And she was just a really, really nice person. And the thing that made my wife so great was she was like what I needed as far as a personality wise, because she kind of taught me a lot. We were both young. She kind of had some experience with finances, and she kind of like helped me, guided me through that. And I learned a lot. And me with my book smarts and her financial literacy, we were able to build some really big things. And, you know, we were able to, you know, come together, start a company. Our company name is, you know, Brent Wade Holdings. When you hear the name BBO stands for Brent's Very Own. That's an ode to my uncle, the late Brent Wade. He was I only had him for a short time too. My uncle Brent he wasn't my uncle. He was my cousin's husband, but he was such a dude where he just always would tell me stuff like, you the man. You can do it. You the greatest. He would say little stuff like that to me. Like, just imagine being in third grade, somebody walk up to you and say, can't nobody see you, man. You that dude. He would just do stuff like that. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that.
Yeah.
He would just walk up to me like randomly. They can't F with you. And, you know, I didn't hear much cussing, you know, from adults. You know, maybe in the hood, the kids would cuss, but I didn't hear much cussing from adults because, you know, my grandma didn't play that. But he was like the first person I ever heard cussing, like, you can do it, man. F them. I can hear him now. F that. You got it. You the man. Can't nobody mess with you. And he was just so funny because this is back when Cass was wearing like the baggy clothes. And he would say stuff like, man, I ought to hit him in his chest. That shirt my size. He got that big ass shirt on. That shirt my size. I ought to hit him in his chest. That's kind of how he talked. And my Uncle Brent was just a great guy. He didn't have any children. So I try to keep his legacy alive through my business, through YouTube. And I think that's why we've been so successful and blessed. We make some mistakes along the way, but we figuring it out. But I just honor him with everything we do, man, because God sent me my Uncle Brent. Shout out to Uncle Brent, man. May God be pleased with him.
R.I.P. to Uncle Brent, man. Much love to the brother. Let me ask this, BBU.
Mm-hmm.
So, and me personally, and me and you, I think me and you, we've kind of, I always say you steal it from me. I'm going to just be honest. You steal it from me. But at the same time, you do a hell of a job when you do it. One of the things that we love to talk about now is fatherhood, the black family.
Mm-hmm.
You're a living example of how to maintain a black family, right? Mm-hmm. You got your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? You got your wife. Then you. What goes into maintaining that family status that you've been able to be so successful at so far?
I think the biggest thing I learned is, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? And if you got a woman who don't steal, you got a woman who gonna treat you right, sometimes you got to make those concessions. And a good woman that really love you is not gonna put you in no bad situation. So I had to swallow my pride at times, and I ain't like the way stuff, like, you know how it is with us as men. I ain't like the way that was said, but sometimes we gotta just shrug it off, because that's a part of being daddy, man. You gotta go through things, man. And I never had my wife ever loud talk me or talk to me crazy in front of people ever. So if she want to fuss when we behind closed doors, that's cool. You know what I mean? It's just, for me, I just learned, like, do you want to be happy or do you want to be happy or do you want to be right?
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy.
No, it don't. No, it don't. It don't sound crazy at all.
I think we both come from, having like crazy upbringings. My wife being, Dominican and all that, and not really having her parents getting raised by her aunt and all that stuff. We wanted to have a family unit. We wanted to be better. And me and her would watch the Cosby Show as kids when we were younger. When I say kids, I mean early 20s. I'm sounding like an old man. But in our early 20s, we would watch the Cosby Show. And that show kind of was like, helped me architect how my marriage could go. Mm. And if you watch that show, that's BBO's life. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, a book I read, is very true. I made it my business to have a happy, successful, upper middle class home. And I did that through the power of my mind, working hard. Like when I came back, it was, before I got into the car business, I worked at a little steel factory at night. I was just going to do anything it took to provide. And my wife honored that, because, I grew up, a man don't work, he don't eat. And I grew up around so many sorry niggas, I just knew I wasn't going to be one of them. Nas had a rhyme I'll never forget. He said, young men, you don't want to be my age and can't read and write, got to beg a different one for a place to sleep at night. Something as small as that really affected me as a kid, and say, you know what, I'm going to work hard, so I ain't got to beg no one for nothing. We all done met homeless hobos who mess with girls just to have a place to sleep. I didn't want that.
That's incredible. And one of the things I always say, I got a lot of love for you. You be out of order. You be out of order on a regular basis. But I got a lot of love for you, because I see a lot of myself in you. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing with you.
And when I saying that I think you're an honorable individual. I think you're gonna say some crazy stuff online, but at the end of the day, I do truly believe that you got your head set the right way. You know what I'm saying? And I want to ask this question right here now. Mm-hmm. When it comes to and what we've seen now, coming up in the homes, or not necessarily coming up in the homes. Let me rephrase that. Mm-hmm. What we see these young men doing today is something that I think me and you, we kind of look at it the way we were raised. We were like, man, what are y'all doing? Mm-hmm. Y'all doing things completely backwards, right?
Right.
And I've noticed that you taking your show, your channel to a new level where we're gonna address this. We're gonna address this out of orderness.
For sure.
What the thing is, my question: what made you look and say, you know what, man, this is a problem, and this is what needs to be addressed, and if we can fix this, then we may be on to something. We can't fix everything, but if we can fix this, we on to something. And that's how I kind of look at the younger generation right now, and the way that you're running your channel, and some of the topics that you speak on. Can you break that down for the people?
When I was a young kid, I used to watch Bobby Jones Gospel. I used to watch Tyler Smiley on PBC, Politics Nation, and of course I would always watch every Savior's Day. And my grandma would get so pissed at me. I would watch Uncle Lewis. I'm not gonna say his name. I know they got things against Uncle Lewis. And what I learned is you're nobody if you can't take care of your community. And you say, how do you say that? Where even though I'm not in the inner city, I'm not affected by a lot of that stuff. I mean, I'm upper middle class. I'm not gonna be affected by no voting rights. I got an ID. You know what I mean? I got the stuff I need. But I always understood that no matter how well you do, we have to care about where we're going as a race. And growing up with my Aunt Sarah, we came up in Wynn, Arkansas, and having that connection to the past that not many people my age got to have. You got to have that same thing with having your great grandma around. Those older folks, man, they didn't play. I remember my grandma, my aunt said, "Hear you whistling." She said, "The devil's on your lips, boy. Get the devil off your lips. You ain't doing nothing but whistling." But
hey, look, and you really didn't even understand what she was talking about.
No,
my aunt would say the same. And you're like, what? Wait a minute. I ain't doing that, but I ain't saying nothing crazy.
You just whistling. You just
right,
whistling.
Right.
Devil's on your lips, boy. Get the devil off your lips, boy. And you know what I will say? The part that was so different was just growing up in that environment, man. It just blessed me because I got an understanding of how we should act and how we should move as a people. And I'll give you a lot of credit for it. When I heard you doing your thing, we're talking about, different things that affect, the community. I said, I'm already giving. I'm already doing it. Let's talk about it too. And a lot of people really give me a lot of love because I'm bringing back what we grew up doing. Most Black people didn't grow up all that cussing and fussing. I know I didn't. So it's good to come to a place where you can come, have a good time. You ain't got to hear nobody cussing and all that. You can just hear somebody having a good conversation. The worst you might hear is the N-word. And they said the N-word so much as a kid on the Jeffersons, on Sanford and Son, on Good Time, that niggas shouldn't bother you. I remember my favorite thing was when Fred said on Sanford and Son, "It's enough niggas here. We could have had a Tarzan movie." So just imagine that. He said, "It's enough niggas in here to have a Tarzan movie." So, or you would hear George Jefferson whenever he got mad at the N-word. So I always grew up with that understanding that we are not just about one, it's about the entire race. And it's about making everybody better around you if you can. And me and you both got that big heart. And at times you try to hide it. But you know what? Me having that big heart is my grandmother's legacy, because my grandma would, and I'm probably embarrassing to bring this up. My grandma would take my hand and say, "These are healing hands. These are hands made to love. These are hands made to give. These are hands made to bless somebody." And I would look at her like she's crazy. Or she pointed my feet and she said, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord." And you just look at that stuff, they were really building men, you know what I mean? And I thank God for the old girl now, because, she would give me my scriptures, and you just be surprised how much you learn. And my girl would say all the time, "You stand up like a man. You're not no punk. You're not no sissy." I'm not gonna say what she would say. She would say the F word sometimes too. We stand up like men around here.
Walk around with your head down if you want to. Walk around with your head down if you want to. Nah, that ain't how we live. We don't live like that around here. And that's what they're gonna tell you. That's what they're gonna. Go ahead. My apologies.
No. You're right. You're absolutely right. Something as simple as if they give you a wallet. You got some money in your wallet. They gonna put something in your wallet. So you got some money in your wallet. Man gotta have money in his wallet. My grandma say all the time, you a man, you gotta have money in your wallet. He said, what if something happened? You need to have you $10, $15. I don't know what a 10-year-old needed $10, $15 for back then, but what she said.
It wasn't about the 10-year-old. It was about the individual who's gonna be 35 one day. And make sure you got some. Hey, I keep money on me. I keep cash money today. Me personally, I keep cash on me. I got at least $300 in my wallet. If you see me, I got at least $300, if not more. And simply because I don't know what may happen. I done been out of state at times, and my credit card get declined because my bank, they calling me talking about, well, is this you or is somebody using this? Well, all right, I ain't got time to deal with that right now. Let me just go ahead and pay accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So I keep money with me. But at the same time, this is how we were raised coming up. Right. This is how the old folks, I call them old now. The educated ones is what I should be calling the educated folks. How they raised us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, this is how you got to move because you never know what may happen. And if something do happen, you need to be able to move accordingly.
Right. And ain't no excuses. And I remember my grandma used to say all the time, you know, I remember we used to do this little stuff. I remember one time we stole some candy, man, out the store. And my grandma said, don't you ever steal nothing because anything that you want, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. And she said it just like that. And then she hit me with my favorite thing. Me and my buddy laugh about this to this day. My grandma said, because if you steal, you will kill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was so funny to hear her say that. But if you look at the story of Cain and Abel, it always escalates.
If you willing to do the lowest criminal violation, then you willing to do the highest.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is.
And you don't think of it like that? You think they're overreacting or being hyperbolic? No. They know what they're saying.
They know exactly what they're saying.
And I remember one time I had did something foul, and I think I had, I know what I did. I threw a knife at somebody. And my grandma said one of the realest things on earth, you gonna pay for that. I'm thinking, I'm gonna pay for it. They ain't gonna pay for it. I'm like, F this dude. I threw the knife back. I wish I would have got it. That's what I was thinking in my head. And guess what happened, Doug? I come out to school, I get hit in the back of the head with a crate. And I paid for throwing that knife at that dude.
You got what you deserve.
Be in order.
Be in order. Be in order. Be in order, man.
You got what you deserve.
You got what you deserve. If you're gonna throw a knife, you lucky that they only hit you with a crate. You really lucky.
Hey, the boy hit you with a crate and was gone. It was hilarious, man.
But
he got me good though. I was leaking. He didn't know I was leaking, but I was leaking, bro. My brother got me with that crate good. But it's just how that goes, man. You just learn that for every action, there's a reaction. And my grandma always said, and I said it at her funeral, I hate that me and my cousin were a burden on her because she should have been out living her own life and not raising me and him. I always say that.
Y'all think y'all were a burden. Y'all wasn't no burden. Her living her own life was y'all.
Yeah.
One thing I don't think people understand, and it took me to have a child to understand this. It's no burden on me for anything he got going on. It's not a burden on me. It's a responsibility for me. You know what I'm saying? And I know how Big Ma looked at me. The funniest thing, out of all my cousins, I grew up with Big Ma. None of my other cousins my age grew up with Big Ma. None of them. Now, when they came to visit, guess who had to put them in order? I did. Whoa, we can't do this. Nope. Big Ma, she gonna know we did this. We gonna be in trouble. Nah, we good. We all right. And then get what? And then when Big Ma find out, get what she gonna say? She ain't gonna go talk to y'all about it. She come to talk to me about it. Y'all new here. I've been here. I've been here.
I know the rules and regulations.
Right. I know it. I know what we can do and what we can't do, and that's why I'm telling you not to do. So then I'm just being honest. When I tell on you, Big Man, look, I told him not to do it. Get why I did it? Self-preservation. That's why. Self-preservation. Sure. And I told you not to do it, and you said you knew the rules better than I did when I've been here.
Yeah.
It's different. And one thing I always realized is, and I love all my cousins, you know what I'm saying? But when they had to come and stay with me at Big Mom house, really stay with Big Mom with me. That's really what was going on. I looked at it differently because I was always there.
That's my crib, yeah.
Right. I was always there. But when they got there, guess what? I had to put you in order. And I had to let you know, well, we can't do this. This ain't fit to fly. She gonna find out. And we gonna be picking switches. Ain't nobody trying to pick no switch. I done already picked enough. You ain't never did it. And I don't want you to have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you better be listening. And when you get out of order, get what? Don't look for my help. I ain't helping you. Nope. I already told you what not to do. I already told you this. But that just go into the lawmaking that she had going on around there. You know what I'm saying? Nah, this is how we're gonna act this way around here. And it meant something to me.
It was great, man. I say this now. It was for such a short time, man. I miss it, man. I miss the Navy beans when I got home. I miss hearing my granddaddy say, "Norma Jean, hungry." He said, "Just like
that's it. Where the food at? Where's the food?"
Hey, I'm talking about 5 o'clock hit, Dub. That food be so hot, bro. It burn your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Man, those are great. I can't believe how short those times was, man. That's the part that blew my mind.
It was short, but it was long. You know what I'm saying? It was at a critical time where it put something on your back. Well, you got to carry it with you. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get over that and talk how you want to no more. One of the reasons I say respectfully now, I ain't never heard Big Mom say that. I ain't never heard her say it. But excuse me. One thing she gonna tell you is you represent me when you go out there. You ain't gonna act the fool. And if you want to act the fool, I'm gonna show you a fool. I'm gonna show you one. So when you get out there, be in order. She ain't say it in those terms, but that's what I got from it. Be in order.
I remember one time, man, I was at the grocery store, man. I'm acting a fool, and my grandma said, pretty much like Bill Haley said, "I'm gonna get down where I'm mad at," and she got that belt out right there in the middle.
Hey, where you act the fool at is where you gonna get beat at. It is what it is.
And I couldn't believe she was really whooping me, man, in front of all those white people, man. She had no shame. Yeah,
shame. No shame. Oh, she was proud. She was proud, and she's showing them we not. This ain't how we acting around here. If he out of order, if he out of order right here, he gonna get treated out of order. Y'all got a problem with it? Does anybody have a problem? Nah, ain't nobody got no problem with it, because that's how the people came up back then. We got to move forward. And this one of the things I love about you, just for the people, when me and you talk, this is how we talk behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? we talk exactly like this about our upbringing behind the scenes. So I want to ask this now. I want to move forward. We got to get to some current events. We got to get to some boxing as well. First things first, man. Going back to the channel that you're running, and you're doing a hell of a job with your channel. Man, you're attacking some tough topics right now. You going head on with them. And one of the things I love that you say is, man, over here at the Doghouse, man, we not scared to address anything. Where did that energy come from, bro? Where did that energy come from?
Man, it just came from, really shout out to my big brother Dub, but it really came from, man, when I was growing up, man, those old black people, man, they cared about things. They cared about the world. I remember there used to be this story when I was a kid about this kid named Elian Gonzalez or John Benet Ramsey.
I remember Elian. Go ahead.
John Benet Ramsey. You would hear this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And you know what my family would say? I don't give a darn about them. What about the black kids?
Yeah.
What about
what
the
about
black
us?
kids?
What about our community?
I give them now. I don't give a darn about none of that. I'm worried about the black kids. What the black kids that's not eating? What the black kids that's not getting justice? And you know what I learned? That if you set your mind to something, God will really bless you, man, if you bring him into it. And people be like, yo, but y'all say the N-word. Yeah, we do. But if you think about how Jesus was, man, he was hanging out with the lowest of the low. And he elevated them through Christ. So that's how I look at the show. I look at the show as a great place to talk about the real, because everybody's so sensitive. Nobody is married that's talking. Like, you will hear people giving advice on marriage when they've never been married. How can you do that? How? You know, like Dion said, how? So I try to use the forum and really appreciate you helping with that, to just really get those issues out there. Because I remember we was talking to B. Norman, and B. Norman said something like, man, I don't get to talk like this. Well, it's important that you do. You know what I mean? Because you're a good guy. And I think more of us are understanding that we don't got to do this monkey stuff. We can really talk like men and get over some things. One of my favorite conversations was when me, you, and Free was talking to Uncle Stitch. And Uncle Stitch was telling us about how, you know, how much he loves people and how he always ended up being somebody's father. That kind of stuff, it resonates, man. I had an old man one time. I was talking to a friend of mine at somewhere. You know, I'm being a smart guy telling this old white dude. I'm talking to my brother. You know what the old white man said? We all men are brothers. And he walked away. I said, that crazy old white man's right. We all are brothers. And when you look at it, man, we in this thing, man. Either we in this thing together, but we all in it. So that's kind of how I look at it, man. We in this thing together, man.
So I want to ask this question here, and I don't want to get I don't want to make it too well. Hell, who cares? Who cares anyway? Like I always say, I try to keep it friendly, but you my brother. So I want to ask you this, man. I want to get a little into politics. What we're seeing right now. We have the whole situation going on in LA with the riots, right? We see individual out of order. They out of order out there.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the riots right now in LA? And now we have it supposedly nationwide with, I don't know, I don't want a king or something like that. No king, something. I don't know. I don't know the exact terminology. And me and Marky will address it, but I want your opinion on this. When you look at Trump right now, how do you look at President Trump?
I always did. As a kid, we all loved Trump. I remember Trump used to be on the pizza Hut commercials, and on Fridays we ordered pizza. And I used to tell my grandma, I want a Donald Trump pizza. You know what I mean? Because he had the pizza with the pepperonis on it. I want a Donald Trump pizza. I think Trump has kind of shown me that if you get a leader that's going to do what he says he's going to do, it's not always going to look perfect, but you can see that he really is trying to do some things right. Is everything going to be perfect? No. I voted for Kamala. We didn't win. So I gotta be okay with Trump doing what he wanted, because that's what he did. He won. But with him, he's really gained my respect with having prayer in his meetings, the way he's treating the veterans, as far as, you know, making it a big deal to honor veterans. People forget about that. You know, my father was in Desert Storm. We got to honor our veterans. Those guys put their life on the line. We laugh about it, joke about it, but man, freedom ain't free, man. People lost their lives, man. people lost their lives, trying to protect this great nation. So I think the protests are disgusting. I think those people should get out of our country. If you want to be in Mexico, take your behind in Mexico. This is America, baby. And we got better things to worry about other than some people who not supposed to be here. Get out. You're supposed to be gone. If you overstay your welcome, guess what? You have to go. Because let's be honest, Dub. If me and you commit a crime, they're going to take us away from our family and ship us somewhere in my room.
They locking us up. And if my son is in the car when I commit a crime, they're going to separate me from my child.
Just like that. Just like that. So all this talking, it sounds good, it might even make you feel good, but you gotta just accept for what the leaders are. I mean, do I agree with a lot of stuff Trump does? No. But I can say he has made some good strides. And if you are a black person and you say you hated Trump from the jump, you're lying. Because everybody watched Fresh Prince. He was on there. Everybody seen the pizza commercials. He was on there. Everybody watched The Apprentice with their grandma or their older
Home Alone. Don't forget Home Alone. Man.
Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin. So let's not play like Trump hasn't always been down with the brothers. Trump. Man,
I gotta say, and I don't mean to cut you off. I always gotta say this. Mike Tyson. Me and Mike Tyson got the same birthday, June 30th. What's today? Today is the 16th. About to be the 17th. So I got about 14 days for my birthday. Me and Tyson birthday.
Right.
I remember when Mike Tyson had to get up there after being accused of certain allegations. We're not going to say it because of the algorithm, but being accused of these certain allegations, you know who sat right there beside him?
Trump.
Trump did. That's a fact.
Who sat with Michael Jackson and said Michael Jackson played with my children? He never did none of that.
Trump.
Who paid for Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign in 1984?
Trump.
So it's just one of the things where when you say he's racist, you're being disingenuous. Let's be real. Nobody's going to do it right, perfect. No one's going to do it perfect. Black, white, or indifferent. We've seen Obama be in office for 8 years, and all we got is Obama phone to show for. So if we can't get that same steam,
I didn't even get an Obama phone. I didn't even get.
So we can't get that same steam to Rob Manuel, who was the mayor of Chicago, who was his chief of staff, who did a lot of things to kind of undercut what the black community could have got. Let's not beat Trump up, man. Let's not beat him up because you can just look at his whole life, Doug. He's always been with blacks. That doesn't change because he's president. So you telling me the dude who's been with black, what Trump is a lot similar to? Eminem. You can't tell Trump's story without talking about black people.
Nelly was one of my favorite artists when he was cracking back in the day. Nelly and Ludacris, two of my favorite artists, right? Donald Trump, let me in now. Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now.
We've been speaking about these people as a community. We've been speaking about them. And then the man runs, and I'll be honest, I want to hear your opinion on this one. I'll be honest. I didn't rock with Trump at first. I was like, man, this man, he gonna be a horrible president.
You know what Trump said? Run, Jesse, run. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said.
But when he got in there, I was like, man, I don't think, man, he ain't finna be no. And I'm gonna just tell you, then I want your opinion on this one. When Trump got into office, and they started the whole Russia collusion thing, right? Mm-hmm. I said, hey, they got him. They got him. I started watching. I ain't never followed politics. Never followed politics. I always tell you, my grandma, Jehovah's Witness, don't believe in politics whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I came up.
Right.
When Trump got into office, I didn't think he would win. I always said that it was set up. You know what I'm saying? It was the president was picked. It was already set in stone who gonna be the president. When Trump got there, I said I was wrong. I said I was wrong about that. Mm-hmm. Then he got there, and corporate America. I'm working with my co-workers, and they like, hey, man, Trump. I'm telling them then, I don't really vote like that. I ain't no voter like that. I'm a voter now. They made me a voter. But back then, I wasn't voting. You know what I'm saying? I didn't my mama placed 2 absentee ballots for me for Obama. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. We partied in the we had a little party in the parking lot when Obama was elected, and we was playing "My President Is Black" by Jeezy. You feel me?
Yeah,
that's what we was bumping. That's what we were doing. That's a fact. So Trump gets into office, and I'm like, oh, they got him now on Russian collusion. They could impeach him. Mm-hmm. Then I started watching. And really I didn't have a choice because I was a part of a salad club and all this other kind of stuff. So the old folks, I always say, the old folks that I work with, they was in charge of the television.
Right.
They got me watching the trial.
Yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm like, wait a minute. Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence at? Where's the evidence that this man's supposed to be a Russian agent? Where's the evidence? I didn't see it. And when I didn't see it, I said, you know what? You can't just keep lying to me. And I've always been a conspiracy theorist by nature. So, you know what? I'm riding with Trump now. I'm riding with Trump. You know, those folks, they got the same folks who told me I was wrong for not voting, right? Mm-hmm. The same folks who told me that for not following politics, I was wrong for it. When I started to follow it and pay attention to it, then said I'm voting for Trump, get what they said? You don't know what you're talking about. You shouldn't even be voting. Wait a minute. Y'all ones who told me. Y'all told me I should be voting. Y'all told me this.
What Dave Chappelle said, wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute.
You can't have it both ways. Do you think now, since from everything that we've seen so far, and I know you said you voted for Kamala, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to her, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the first black lady to run for office. I thought she was incompetent, me personally. I think we done had that conversation plenty of times.
Sure.
But were you upset, first off? Were you upset by the way things played out in the election?
No.
Why not?
I'm gonna say something that's not popular, man. I love this country, bro.
How was that? Hold on. How is it not popular to say that I love my country that I live in? How is that not popular?
I'm just being real.
That should be one of the most popular things you can say.
Niggas call you Uncle Tom, and it's because I love this country, dog. I mean,
I do too.
It's the greatest. It's the greatest experiment on planet Earth. And whether it's through slavery, the different things we've been through, it's trial and error, man. Trial and error. Look at Rome. Look at Greece. Look at Constantinople. I mean, we're just able to live in a country where we can say we don't like our president. We can say we don't like this. People don't understand. They lock people up for that. Remember when everybody was up in arms about TikTok being gone? That happens all the time overseas, man. All the time. They don't want you to have something, you're not going to have it. So, I mean, I could see that they were not going to let Kamala win because the way Joe was going about things, it was all about Joe. And Obama, being Obama, he wanted to have an open what do you call that? Open convention. And I knew once they wasn't going to do that, I said, we in trouble. And then Obama said something that really was the nuclear bomb that made us lose 12% of the black vote. Because Trump picked up 11% of the vote. And it's because what I think, as Obama said, voting for Trump is not a sense of masculinity. No. And he wagged his black finger at us as if he's somebody's dad. And I knew a lot of people wouldn't take kindly to that. That black bourgeois attitude is trash. and it's cancerous. You can't look down on people, man. People are hurt you because you're looking down on them now. So I kind of knew that she wasn't going to win. She's easy on the eyes. But those word salads, and just the constant incompetence, I knew she wasn't going to win. And I thought we should have got Cory Booker in there, and we didn't. So, but I stood with the party, and it is what it is. And when we lose a fair and free election, I don't care. That's part of election. You don't always win. When I was a kid, I threw the ball in the woods. My grandma said, boy, go get that ball, man, you idiot. What you doing? You can't win every game. You can't win everything. So if we, Lord's will, when something happens in a few years, it's time to win again. That's what happened. But hey, when it comes to Trump, is he doing some things I don't like? Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, that's every politician, man. That's not just Trump. That's every politician. We didn't win this time. That's what it boils down to. But I'm praying for Trump. And I see this time he got better people around him. Have you noticed that?
I have.
You don't got, and people don't give Trump credit. The criminal justice bill that he wrote, guess who helped write that? Van Jones. Van Jones. Who is Van Jones?
A Democrat. Well, go ahead. You.
Not a Democrat. The man that is the architect of what you heard in Yes We Can with Obama. That's all Van Jones. That's his baby. So you trying to tell me if he can go reach the Van Jones and write a justice bill, I can't say that's a good move. Or you give funding to the black colleges for 10 years. And then you get in office now and you added and made it 20 years because these black colleges were closing. Stop the bull crap and look at what he's doing. Is it perfect? No. Would I vote for him? No. But I do appreciate some of the stuff that he's doing, man.
I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem. I voted for Trump, so
Yeah.
I'll take mine on the chin any day of the week. I ain't got no problem with it. I want to ask this, BBO, because want to stick to politics real quick. When we're looking at, because we've seen a lot of things, especially when it comes down to illegal immigration, those type of conversations, right? And this is what the riots are supposedly about in LA, and that's supposedly moving around the country. When we're looking at that, it seemed like the people voted against illegal immigration. But I think there is a right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you need to, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to run up on every individual who is out of order and be like, oh, I want to start with the criminals. But at the end of the day, I think the majority, hey, y'all need to go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? Go on about your business. My question is this: if America is such a racist, homophobic, out of order country, why are so many people trying to come to this country if we are all these things that they calling us?
Because they don't understand the purpose of America. And this is because I'm a poli-science student. America is the great experiment. It's not perfect. I see somebody in the comments say, Trump is enriching himself. If you think presidents don't enrich themselves, you're a fool.
What did Obama? Obama went in there.
Clinton. Let me say this real quick. Bill Clinton came in with less than $3 million. He's a billionaire today. George Bush is a billionaire today.
A billionaire.
Obama's a billionaire today.
A billionaire.
So this whole joke of he's not the first. You talking about a job that pays $200,000.
I think it's 400. I think it's 450. I think it's 450.
Oh, it's 450. Okay, it's part. Okay, it went up. Well, I'm thinking back in the 90s. My bad. But you talking about a job that pay you $400,000. That's not no money. It's not no money. That was the highest paid job President Obama had ever had when he became president. But now he's worth $1 billion. He didn't enrich himself. The thing is, what I learned is this, Dub, is that people make excuses for people that they like. That's not what you do as an adult. I don't play home games. I understand that nothing's perfect. Nothing's going to be solid. But if you do what I need you to do for my people or my family, I gotta just accept that that's going to be the way it is. No one's perfect, man. I guarantee the next president that come in is going to enrich himself. That's the whole purpose of being president, is to enrich yourself, to make sure that you can be something great. Just what it is, man. We got to stop playing these games as if we think human beings get these jobs. So to anybody that say something crazy like, oh, he enriching himself, they all do that, bro. They all do that.
So I want to ask you this, BV. I want to ask you this, and this is, in my opinion, last question on politics. For the Democratic Party to be, or to make a push to beat, we know it's not going to be Trump in the next election, but what do you think, if you were the head of the Democratic Party, and I think you're a very wise individual, what would be your mindset to say, this is what we need to be doing so we can put ourselves ahead and we can win the next election? What would you be pushing for?
One, no to Gavin Newsom. He's been an absolute failure. No to AOC. She's an absolute idiot. And to me, a communist. We got to get back to what we did back when JFK was president. And that's what Robert Kennedy said. Robert Kennedy Jr. get a lot of flack for this because he was a lifelong Democrat. Not everybody want to play these games like he wasn't. But Robert Kennedy said it best. We got to get back to what matters: families. The Democratic Party has lost so many working class families because of these 1% issues. I don't care if you feel like you're a man or a woman. I don't care about that. I care about, can I put food on the table? I care about, do I have affordable health care? Can I send my children to college without going bankrupt? Can I have a family emergency for $2,000 and not be dead broke after? We got to get back to common sense politics, man. This whole wokeism is from the devil. This whole anti-family, Black Lives Matter movement, that's never our movement. The problem is this. People are so weak, if you say something they don't like, they say they leave it. Well, get your ass out of here then. We don't got time for you. We're not going to beg you to do what you need to do. And that's kind of how my mindset is. Get the trash, take the trash and throw it out of here. Gavin Newsom's trash. AOC is trash. Let's work to rebuild the Democratic Party to be left of center as we always had it. This whole extreme wokeism has been the downfall of our country as a whole because we're not focusing on what matters. Education, clean energy, sustainable energy, great food sources are what really matters. We don't even talk about the food deserts a lot of our communities have, where you can't get fresh fruits and vegetables, man, at an affordable price. Everybody ain't got $15 for a watermelon, from a watermelon, man. So we really gotta, I think as a party, has to do a rehaul and understand that we got to get back to caring about the families. We got to stop being so anti-family. If the wokeism, which is nothing but 1%, if they don't want to be on board, F them. It's that simple. It's more than just that 1% of the party. They don't represent us. And that's why you see so many people going to the Republican Party. Go ahead, my bad.
No, you good. You good. And this is why I say I want to ask this, because I working in corporate America, you know, you get a chance to get outside, walk to lunch, all those kind of things. Mm-hmm. I worked with a Hebrew Israelite for a year. Shout out to Claudette. And tomorrow we will have Shawa on. We'll be tackling that conversation as well. But it was so interesting because Claudette, when me and her go walking, and Claudette, she old enough to be my mother, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's my big sister, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of love for Claudette. Mm-hmm. And we go walking, and this is in Atlanta now. This is when I was still working in Atlanta. We go walking, and they stop us. They stop us on the road. We need you to sign this petition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Claudette was like, come on, just keep walking, No, hold on, wait a minute. You know how I am. I gotta ask questions. I always gotta ask questions. That's me. That's how I am. I gotta ask questions. So I asked the young sister who was asking us to sign this petition for LGBTQIA rights. I said, what rights am I signing for? What rights do these individuals not have that everybody else has? Or, what rights am I signing for? You know what she told me?
What's that?
Well, they just paid me to be out here, so I can't answer that question. Wait a minute. So you want me to sign a petition to you want me to sign for certain individuals' rights, and then I'm asking what rights they don't have, and you telling me I don't know what rights they don't have, but you want me to sign this? You know what she said when I asked that?
Mm-hmm.
She said, they pay me, so I just need the money. All right, that's fine. But don't sit here and solicit signatures when you don't even know what you're soliciting signatures for. You don't even know. You literally have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sad to me because I thought the young lady, I thought she a good young sister. I ain't got no problem with her. You know what I'm saying? But it was a means to an end. The problem is the means to an end is for signatures that you don't even know what you're supporting. You don't even understand it.
Yeah.
That's a scary situation for me. And the reason it's scary is because you have young individuals pushing an agenda that they don't even know what they're pushing. They have no clue what they're pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask them enough questions, you realize they don't understand it. And that's so scary because, in my personal opinion, that's brainwashing.
Yeah, that is.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of these individuals have been brainwashed to the point that they don't even know what they're pushing or what they're speaking on. But because they're going to get paid for it, they're okay doing whatever. And that's so, but that's nerve-wracking to me personally. What's your thoughts on that?
That's exactly what we're talking about. It's just people not being able to think for themselves. And then you got evil people like AOC and Gavin Newsom who say they love you as they slaughter you from behind. And, you know, what I'm saying is not popular, but the truth has never been popular.
I got out of being popular a long time ago. I know I ain't popular.
So it's just, you just learn, man, that you can't get caught up in the BS. And at some point, man, we got to stop the lies. Stop the lies. If you listen to AOC, she doesn't have a family. She doesn't understand what it's like to raise a family. She's not with a man. I mean, you want to listen to her? Like, what are you doing? That's like when you see our women listen to those panel of women who's not married about how to find a man. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to Kevin saying, like Charleston said it best, talk to somebody who's got somebody. That's what we got to do. We listen to the wrong people, man, and that's our demise. If it sounds good, they put a little sugar on it, we gonna love them. Everything that glitter ain't gold, man. And the demise of us as blacks has been accepting the wrong leadership. That's my personal opinion. Dr. King said it best in his book, Community Chaos, where we go from here. He said, I feel like I led black people into a burning house. That's a strong statement, Doug. To say you feel like you led us to a burning house. You get no stronger than that to me, bro. That's pretty strong to say that, man.
Hey, anybody, and to even be able to say that, anybody, and I say this respectfully, ain't anybody you love, you're not gonna lead them into a burning house.
Right.
I may not have seen it, and that's what I think he was saying. He didn't quite see it at that time. But when I take a step back and look at it, this is where we end up at. And all right, so real quick, I want to because we got to get to some boxing talk as well. You know, we got we 2 hours and 15 minutes in. I told you
Right.
it's easy to talk out here, but last words on politics, the things going on around the world. Well, let me ask this. I gotta ask this. I'm sorry. I gotta ask this. Israel, Iran, Ukraine, Russia. What's your thoughts on both of those conflicts that's going on at this current moment in time?
That's just America doing what we always do, playing the world police force, and I don't think we got time to do that no more.
We should have never been a part of it. Get the hell out the way.
That's a part of wanting to control the world. If you want to control the world, you got to do those type of things.
They do. I don't. Let's move forward. I don't even want to spend. I want to ask this question right here. I want to get to some boxing talk right here. So, as always, for my guests, I always have to ask this question first. Man, what fighter? What was your when you were young? When you first off, when did you first find a love for the sport of boxing? And you got to have a love to talk it as much as we do. So, when did you first find your passion for the sport of boxing?
When I watched as a kid, I watched Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield, and that's the first time I'd ever seen my mom like be excited about a fight. Because she loved Evander because she seen him in the Olympics, and I just always remember the excitement she had about seeing Evander whoop on Mike Tyson. And for me, that's kind of what opened that love, man. And my favorite fight of all time is Ron Lyles versus George Foreman. And when you watch fights like that, it makes you love the sport. So that's kind of how I fell into the sport.
Now, I'm going to call you out of order.
Go ahead.
And the reason I'm going to call you out of order is because, Mike Tyson, I agree 100% with you. That's what really got me into the sport of boxing as well. Mike Tyson, my favorite fighter of all time. We got the same birthday. I done told you that probably 77 times. So, but you ain't going to talk bad about Mike Tyson up here. We ain't going to have it. We're not going to be talking about nothing. We're not going to have it up here. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Evander Holyfield put hands on Mike Tyson. That's all I can say.
He really did.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie. I couldn't even.
And feet.
Hands, feet, elbows, knees, possibly toes in that situation. Respectful. So, coming up outside of the guys that you just named, you know what I'm saying? Tell me some of the fighters that you love to watch. You know what I'm saying? And people call me a historian. I think you more of a historian than I am. Marky Dan, Free. I think all y'all know boxing much more than I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of boxing. I know old fights. I don't watch the old fights. I think y'all can call it a little better than I can though. What's some of the fight? What in your opinion? What's some of the great fights that you love to watch? And there are times you got to go back and watch them just because it was such a great fight. Do you have any of those?
Definitely Bernard Hopkins versus Trinidad. Masterclass.
Oh, fantastic.
I thought Bernard was going to get knocked out, but he made it look easy.
Bernard,
Floyd versus Miguel Cotto was one of those fights I seen like, oh my God, this dude Floyd's on another level. He went and beat up Cotto.
You know,
people forget about that. He beat up Cotto.
I watched that fight earlier today, and I'm not sure. I was just looking at old fights, and the funniest thing is Cotto, the moments he had in the fight where he picked Floyd up, you know what I'm saying? Walked him back in not quite the corner, but back to the ropes. That was it. That's what he had in the fight. Now he had good pressure, but he was getting hands put on him.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
My goodness. Well, let me ask this, BV. I gotta ask this. We call you. You know, I call you Sombrero. I don't think everybody call you Sombrero, but I call you Sombrero, right?
Right.
I think you always tell me that you think the Mexican come forward style, that's real boxing. You always tell me,
the
right?
sweet science.
That's the sweet science right there. Break that down for me. Why do you feel that way?
When I was young and I was watching old fights with my family, you watch Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. on those Mike Tyson cards with Don King. He was putting hands on people. You ever watch Mills Taylor versus Julio Cesar Chavez? Fights like that. Oscar versus Pernell Whitaker.
You out of order.
I just love how dudes step to these fighters, man. I just love it because
getting hands put on them in that fight.
Said what?
Oscar was getting hands put on him against Sweet Pea.
Yeah, but he put hands on Sweet Pea too. He just was missing a lot.
Here we go.
He was just missing, so everybody want to hold that against him because he was missing. But
it ain't. We not holding nothing against him. Sweet Pea stood right there in front of him and made him miss, and then landed big shots.
And he dropped Oscar too.
What are we talking about? You continuously tell me, and I done heard you ask this question multiple times. You continuously say that Oscar won that fight. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I thought he won. I did. I
you
thought he won
order.
that fight.
You out of order. Hold on.
I thought he won that fight.
Hold on. We got to give him the drop, man. I ain't expect to give my brother BVO any drops tonight. I said I ain't gonna do it. I said I ain't giving him the drops. But we got to give him the drop right now.
Heaven. I try my best to tell the truth. People don't like my style, how I talk, my delivery. But you ain't catching me in half truth and lies.
Half truths and lies.
This is outrageous. This is outrageous.
Then we gotta give you. BVO. We gotta give you the best one of all time because this is what you just said right here.
Damn. It's a bunch of bull.
That's it right there. Go ahead, BVO. Go ahead.
Rest in peace, brother Eric, man.
Hey, shout out to Eric Mays, man. A great brother.
That's kind of how I looked at it. And for me, when I watch fights, I want to see people get hurt, man. I don't want to see them run around the ring. And I don't like it. I don't like when they do that. So for me, Oscar, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Roy Jones. People forget Roy Jones was beating people to death.
Hey, Roy was putting hands on folks.
Roy was really trying to hurt people.
No, he wasn't trying to. He was.
John Pascal was another one of my favorites. Manny Pacquiao. Just watching them guys who like to get in there and bang, man. That's just what I always liked, man. I never was only slick black fighter I liked was Floyd.
Okay. So let me ask this: since we got these fights coming up now, I want to start with one of your favorite fighters. Since you just brought him up, Manny Pacquiao. The man is all of 63 years old, and he's coming back to fight Mario Barrios, right?
Right.
At 77 years old, how do you think that Manny Pacquiao at 83 years old would beat, or how does he fare in that fight at 97 years old against Mario Barrios?
There's no body testing. First.
That's what I hear. I don't know that to be a fact. That's what I hear.
I heard that's a fact. They're not going to do body testing. And with no body testing, I think it's going to give us, the Manny Pacquiao we should against Keith Thurman. We turned the hands of time back, and then when he had body testing against what was his name? What was his name? Ugas. We see him look human again. So I think he's gonna look like Superman one more time. I really do. I think that's what we're gonna get.
At 103 years old?
I think so.
Against Mario Barrios?
Who's been extremely inactive, and we've seen Delorme put hands on him.
Man. No, that wasn't Delorme. That was
not Delorme. Was the
Ramos? Ramos. That was the Uncle Ramos. Uncle Ramos.
Abel Ramos.
Yeah, he put hands on. He
put hands on him, man.
He put hands on him. He put hands
When
on
I seen that, it just let me know, oh, he's not who people think he is, man. And really, his whole claim to fame is getting beat up by Tank knocked out, and then he got laced by an old Keith Thurman. I mean, he really not all that good.
So Manny Pacquiao. So you got Manny Pacquiao winning that fight?
I got Manny Pacquiao probably stopping him.
Stopping him?
I got him probably stopping him.
Amazing. All right, I ain't got no problem.
You see how chinny Mario Barrios is, man.
Damn.
Keith Thurman almost stopped him.
All right, so the question I have to ask after that: if Mario Barrios loses their fight to Manny Pacquiao, who you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight next? Because he's gonna be a title holder at 47.
I don't know who he'll fight next. I hope it will be Brian Norman, but I don't think it will be.
Boots?
Boots is left. What they say. I think, and people don't believe me, I'm a conspiracy theorist on this one. I think he's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather in a rematch.
A sanction fight? You talking about a sanction fight?
Yeah.
Nah. Floyd ain't fought a sanction fight. Floyd ain't fought a sanction fight in what? 8 years?
5 years.
5?
Oh, it's been that. Yeah, probably what? 5, 6 years. Yeah.
I thought it'd been a little longer, but okay, that's fine. He ain't fought a sanctioned fight since then. Like, you think he coming back to fight a sanctioned fight against Pacquiao?
I think so, because it could be a lot of money on the line.
Amazing. If we see that, then boy, y'all already know I'm act the damn fool. I'm act the fool. That's gonna be ridiculous. That's out of order.
I want to run.
We gotta have order around here, man. We can't have no nonsense like that going on. Brian Norman Jr. is over in Japan right now, getting ready to fight Jin Sasaki, I believe is the name.
Yeah.
First things first, are you excited for that fight?
I'm excited for it, yes.
How do you see that fight playing out? Have you seen Jin Sasaki fight first?
I've seen him fight. Yeah, he's very just straight up and down. No hooks, no thrills. How
you see that fight playing out with Junior? And I gotta say, I know that Senior is a brother to the channel. You know what I'm saying? I know he's a brother to the channel. So just asking. and we ain't gotta be on code. We ain't gotta be on code around here. We just gonna tell the truth. We gonna tell the truth. So how you see that fight playing out, brother?
I see in the 5th or 6th round, I think he's gonna get stopped. I think he's gonna stop Jin Sasaki.
I agree. I got a 5th, 6th round stoppage as well. Canelo Alvarez. Well, first off, Turkey comes out and says that he wants a no running rule. You know what I'm saying? I don't know exactly how he defines running. I don't know. That's why I gotta ask you, because I think I know how you define it, and I think you can speak on it a tad bit. But what's your thoughts on Turkey coming out saying he wants a no running rule in the sport, or for the fights that he's putting on?
I think it's just, again, Turkey out of his league, trying to talk about something he don't understand. I mean, you can't control how people fight, man. It don't work like that. That just even Ryan Garcia, who's a stone cold racist, said you can't control how somebody fight. That's not fair. Now, if you want to change the ring size, okay, do what you want to do. You want to make them fight in the playpen, where they can't run in a 15-by-15, cool. But to say that a guy can't box a certain way is a joke to me.
Let me add, I think that there should be a standard size ring. I don't think that there should be there should never be a debate about ring size. We have it in the NFL. We understand the dimensions of the NFL playing field, right? The basketball court, the soccer field, the baseball field. You name the sport, we understand the dimensions. In boxing, that's the one that you have opportunity to negotiate, quote unquote. Usually the A side get to pick the ring size.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me that there should be a standard ring size that nobody should be able to change?
I would agree with you, but boxing is so corrupt. I expect stuff like this. I don't even get surprised. I mean, the sport is corrupt. That's just kind of how I look at it. I know that sounds kind of bad, but it's just a corrupt sport.
And so now we got to add, because you said that, in your opinion, how do you fix the corruption in boxing? How do you fix it?
Oh, it's been corrupt way too long.
Hold on. In BVO perfect world, if you pull whatever levers you want to, and you can make this happen, how do we fix it? And it ain't gonna happen the way you say it. But what would be your opinion on fixing the sport of boxing? How do we do
it? We gotta have some real world solutions, man. And we can't keep looking for somebody like Turkey, who's an outsider who has no invested interest long term, get intellectual property. I mean, we can't do that. We gotta figure out how can the best fight the best and how we can groom fighters. I think if these guys would work together, it would help. But that's the best thing about Turkey. You see, it looks like Bob Arum came back from the dead. Uncle Al at PBC came back from the dead, and you see them moving a certain way. Oscar would sleep at the wheel. You could probably say Oscar is one of the most entertaining dudes in boxing now, with his Clapback Thursdays. You know what I mean? So that wasn't the case. So boxing is getting better, I think. It just takes a little bit more time than we expected.
All right, are you ready for the hot seat?
I'm ready.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna give you a couple. I'm gonna give you a couple topics, and you got to pick one or the other. You know what I'm saying? If you want to explain, we're gonna give you the time to explain because you my brother. But just want to ask these questions right here. Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford. Who wins that fight and why?
Canelo by stoppage. We just too big and strong.
Are you interested in that fight?
No. I feel like Canelo's stealing some money again, and I'm caught of these fights from him. This will probably be the last fight I'll watch of Canelo, because I'm just kind of over how he's moving.
Okay, I ain't mad at it. David Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol. Who do you have winning that fight? And it's at 75. At 75.
I would say I got Dimitri Bivol.
Okay. Why?
Because he showed us he could take a punch, and I think his boxing skills on another level. I think he'll school Benavidez, because Benavidez is, as much as he's improved, he's still not boxing very well.
Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. Who you got?
You said Canelo Alvarez versus
David Benavidez at 68. At 68.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough on that one. That's a tough one.
Well, you got to pick somebody.
I'm gonna go with the favorite. I'm gonna go with the favorite now.
Who is the favorite?
I would think the favorite would be. I just think it would be. I don't know why I think it would be Bivol. I think it would be Bivol.
No. You misheard me. Maybe
okay.
I might have said this wrong. I apologize. I'm probably out of order. David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez at 68.
Oh, I got Canelo. Easy.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I got Canelo.
Let's see. David Benavidez versus a Jamal Charlo. Who you got in that fight? At 68.
I got David because he's been more active, but that jab looked terrific. It looked good watching him throw that jab.
The man was fighting cornbread or somebody. What's the brother name? Cornfeed?
Cornflakes, yeah.
Cornflakes, that's it. Cornflakes.
Yeah, him and Troy Graham hang out, so you gotta watch it.
Shout out to my brother Troy Graham, man. Shout out to Troy Graham. Let me add. All right. So Canelo Alvarez versus Jamal. Big Charlo. I'm gonna say big and little anytime I bring up the Charlo brothers. Big Charlo. Canelo Alvarez, Big Charlo. Who you got in that fight?
Canelo.
Stoppage, decision.
Decision.
Okay. Who I want to go? All right. Male Charlo, little Charlo against Janabek at 60. Janabek.
Ooh. And you trying to make me pick up as my favorite fighter, but I got Mel.
Okay.
Because Mel always find a way to win. But I think Janabek is just too big.
Well, he can't be too big. He can't be too big, and you picking Mel. It can't be.
I got Mel. I'm just saying. Janabek is just big. Like Tank said, he's big.
All right, I ain't mad at it. I am mad at it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm mad about that. You can't have it both ways now. You know how we do it around here. But okay, so going down to some of the lower weight classes. We got, it seemed like this fight is going to be made. The WBO just ordered it. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. Who you got?
I got Abdullah Mason by knockout.
Knockout?
Yeah, by knockout.
What round?
Probably the 6 or 7.
Okay. Abdullah putting hands on the brother. I want to ask about this one then. I just seen Devin Haney. And matter of fact, before we get into this, I got to ask you this. And BVA, I think that mentally speaking, I think that you understand much more than a lot of guys do. So, especially when it comes to this topic about being a father, we just watched Devin Haney this past weekend, Father's Day weekend, get up there and say, hey, my daughter's mother is keeping me from a child, all these type of things. Do you think it's accurate? What do you make of that situation?
I'm gonna say this, and I know we are meant to talk about people, but on something like this, I got no comment. on it. Devin don't need me. Devin don't need me talking bad or saying that. He got his own. He got stuff he going. He don't need me to say that.
All right, going back to the fights. After that, Brian Norman Jr. Made a reference of fighting Devin Haney. Devin said that that man is trash. Well, he didn't say he trash. He said he's gonna price himself out. And who you got in that fight, Devin or Brian Norman Jr.?
I got Brian Norman Jr. I got Storm and Norman by knockout.
Storm and Norman. Let's go Storm and Norman, since that's what we calling them now. Shout out to Storm and Norman. He got the fight coming this weekend. You got it by knockout, right? Or on Thursday. You got it by knockout?
With me?
With Jen Sasaki.
Oh, I got that by knockout for sure.
Yeah.
Fifth round for sure.
Him coming back to the States, I don't know what's going to happen with him and Boots. I want to see that fight. Who you got in the fight? I think I know your answer, but who you got in the fight, Boots or Storm and Norman?
Storm and Norman.
Stoppage?
No, split decision.
Split decision. Okay. You think he outbox him?
I think he can. I think because we keep hearing seniors say he can box. And I've seen Norman does have a nice jab. And I think he can beat Boots because he's athletic. And he got and that's one thing we seen Boots kind of struggle with. We seen when Karen was being athletic, he struggled to stop that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Moving forward, the races, Teofimo Lopez. First things first, I want your opinion on this. We caught the fight this weekend on your show with Hitchison and Kambosos. We watched Hitchison stop Kambosos, and then Teofimo Lopez jumps in the ring, and they taking pictures and things together. Did you have any I think I said something about it, I believe, but I don't know if you did. What was your thoughts on Africa sitting there taking pictures with the racists?
It just goes to show you, man, we don't have no respect for each other. You know, he on a mic with Chris Maddox, Devin Haney, I want you, nigga. I want you, nigga. I'm like, come on, man. It's just like, but then you shake hands or give a hug and a kiss to Tio who said he hates you. It's just loving the wrong things, man. It's crazy.
Amazing. Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney. We seen Tio duck that fight, but who do you think wins the fight if that fight does happen?
I would say Tio because of athleticism.
Okay. I want to go to, let me see. One of the individuals that you love and respect, Tank Davis. I believe you call him Little Red. Abdul Wahid.
Yeah.
Abdul Wahid versus and he got a fight coming up. I think we all let's ask about that first. You got a fight coming up, the rematch with Lamont Roach. Who wins the rematch?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, what did you say? I was looking at something. Go ahead.
No. Who wins the rematch between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach?
I got Tank. He looks super focused. I got some pictures of him today. He looks super focused.
Okay. Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson at 35. Who wins that fight?
Tank Davis.
Tank Davis versus Abdullah Mason. Who wins that fight?
Tank Davis.
Tank Davis versus the other individual, Raymond Muratalla. Thank you. Raymond Muratalla. Who wins that fight?
Oh, he probably go on his boot and pull the blade out. He stopping him.
Okay. I ain't mad at it. Moving to 40 or to the 40-pound division. If we ever got it, I don't think we'll ever get it. But Tank Davis versus Teofimo Lopez. Who wins that fight?
I got Tank by split decision.
I don't know how y'all call these split decisions. It's almost impossible for me to call for a split decision. It's almost impossible. But let me ask this then. Tank Davis versus Antoine Russell. Who win that fight?
I think Antoine Russell was tailor-made for Tank. I think Tank will beat him.
Okay. I disagree with that one now. I disagree with that. But moving forward to the 40-pound division, Keyshawn Davis, the man need a father in his life, respectfully. I say that respectfully. Need a father in his life, but he done been out of order. But now he done missed weight by 4 pounds, so we expect to see him fighting at 40, maybe 47. I don't even know, but I expect 40 first. Keyshawn versus we're gonna start with Tio. Let's start with Tio. Keyshawn Tio. Who wins that fight?
Yeah. I got Keyshawn.
Keyshawn versus Tank Davis. Who win that fight?
I got Tank Davis.
Keyshawn versus Antoine Russell. Who win that fight?
I got Antoine Russell.
Keyshawn versus Alberto Puello. Who wins that fight?
That's a tough one. I would say Puello, to be honest with you.
Keyshawn versus Matias. Who win that fight?
Oh, Keyshawn.
Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? Keyshawn versus Sandor Martin. Who win that fight?
I don't know. I would say Keyshawn.
People don't give Sandor Martin the credit he deserves.
Yeah,
in
he
my
beat
opinion.
T.O. He beat T.O.
I agree with that. Keyshawn versus Jermaine Ortiz. Who win that fight?
Keyshawn.
Okay. Let's see. Keyshawn, Devin Haney. If they meet at 47, who win the fight?
I got Devin Haney.
Keyshawn versus Junior. Who win that fight?
What's Junior?
Brian Norman Jr., excuse me.
Oh, I think Brian Norman by knockout.
Now going to one of your favorite fighters, Emiliano Vargas, right? I think Emiliano, he's campaigning at 40 right now, correct?
Yes.
Emiliano Vargas versus let's put him in there. Emiliano Vargas versus Teofimo Lopez.
I would have T.O. beating Emiliano because of experience.
Emiliano Vargas versus Gary Antoine.
I would favor Gary Antoine, but I love Emiliano. I just think he's too young for that kind of style.
Okay. Emiliano Vargas versus Puello.
Oh, Puello beat Emiliano. At this age,
wait a minute. Emiliano's supposed to be the next coming. Who he gonna beat?
You haven't said somebody for him to beat yet, but I think he'll beat some guys, but I don't think he's a top level contender yet.
Man, you've been wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Hold on, BBO.
We got work to do, man. We got work to do.
You my brother, and I love you. That's what you would tell me on a regular basis, right?
Right.
So you telling me you don't think Emiliano beat any of these guys?
Only person I can see him.
All right, here we go. Emiliano Vargas versus El Rayo.
I got Emiliano.
Emiliano Vargas versus Pitbull Cruz.
I got Emiliano.
Okay. So you think he can get some of the second tier guys up out of there?
Yeah, I just think the top tier, he got some work. He get hit a lot still.
Okay. Well, that's honest. I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect this.
Yeah, he got to stop having people put their boots on his head first. They be blasting Emiliano. That's one thing I will say. He be getting blasted.
All right, here we go, man. Boots Ennis. And we went through this on the show earlier, so I ain't gonna ask none of those names. I already understand how you feel about Boots. I think you one of the individuals. Like I said, I think the majority of individuals think that Boots runs through the 54-pound division.
Yeah.
Boots Ennis versus Manny Pacquiao.
Boots Ennis.
Boots Ennis versus Junior. Brian Norman.
Brian Norman stopping Boots.
Let me see. Boots, and we just seen this came out earlier. I don't know if it came out, but I seen people reporting on this. Boots versus Devin.
I always felt like Devin could win, but after that last performance, I would go with Devin.
You going with Devin over Boots?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian Norman and Devin. Who win that fight?
I think Brian Norman will stop Devin.
Damn. So you got Junior stopping everything out there.
Man, you see what he doing?
He ran it down the middle on your ass.
And you know what the thing that's so crazy is, with a trainer like he got, that's gonna push him. You couldn't ask for a better perfect storm. So
let me ask this, man. With the way you're speaking on Junior right now,
yeah.
Do you think Junior is the next up and coming? And mind you, I think the man I think he just turned 25. You think he the next up and coming thing in the sport of boxing?
I think so, but only time will tell.
Do you see anybody beating Junior? And if you do, who would you say put hands on Junior?
I think he won't lose till he go to 54. I think Virgil and all them is too big for him. He's not a big guy. He's a little bitty guy. We love him, but he's a little bitty guy.
All these guys small. Look, I done been around Junior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I met Junior, I was like, man, this nigga tiny. He tiny.
Yeah, he's shockingly. He like shockingly tiny, man. I was like, whoa.
Hey, bro, look. You know, at 6'5", you be looking at that motherfucker. You be like, this motherfucker, yeah man. Hey, he might got hands. Let me grab. If I can grab you, I'm in good shape. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm in good shape. Let me see. Any other fights I want to ask about? I do. Going back, and we talked about Janabek and Charlo, right? Carlos Adames, he's still right there in that league at 60. You know what I'm saying? So Carlos Adames, because we just seen Shiraz, he's moving up to fight Berlanga at 68. So Carlos Adames versus Janabek, who wins that fight?
Oh, I got Janabek.
Okay, I ain't mad at it. Shiraz versus at 68. Shiraz versus Edgar Berlanga. Excuse me. Who wins that fight?
I got Berlanga by stoppage.
You got Berlanga?
Yeah.
Man, you out of order. Oh, we gotta give him the drop, man.
Damn. It's a bunch of bull.
I don't see Berlanga winning that fight to save his life. He's not that talented. I don't think Berlanga is that talented. Hello?
I'm here.
I just don't see it. Go ahead.
No, I think I can see why you would say that, but I think that's the case to me.
All right,
I mean, because that's boxing, man. You know, a lot of things will fool you, man. It's tough how they got it, man.
So we almost 3 hours in, BVO. Do you want to drop the link for the people to come ask you questions, or you want to wrap this thing accordingly?
Oh, we can drop the link and then we'll wrap it up.
All right. So we're gonna put the link in the chat for if y'all want to pull up and ask BVO questions. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel free. If you don't want to, I still got questions to go because hey, this boxing and BVO know how I am, but I love talking boxing with you. I want to ask this real quick before we bring anybody on. If anybody hit the link, who knows? So when it come down to Shakur and like you would call him Shakur Sanchez, you'll call him Sanchez. I call him Shakur Stevenson. That's what his mama name was Stevenson. I'm gonna call him Stevenson.
I say Clay.
So when it comes to this fight that he has coming up with William Zapata, however you say the brother name, I say that respectfully. When it comes up to it, who you got in that fight?
I got Shakur. I just hope that his hands can hold up, because if not, Zapata's gonna give him some work. But this is gonna be an easy fight for Shakur. He's gonna be sharp. He's gonna put hands on Zapata. It's gonna be a nice little fight.
We got my brother BC in the building, man. Salute to my brother BC. BC,
good morning,
man,
gentlemen.
Welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? You know, you always welcome over here. Man, give me your opening statement. Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy belated Father's Day to you, gentlemen. I spoke to you, Dad, but I did not speak to you, BVO. Happy Father's Day, first and foremost.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
My one inquiry to you, good brother, is what the fuck you smoking tonight, BVO? You saying some wild shit, boy.
Well, I'm smoking that BC pack. You know
well, hey, listen. So you smoking good. I ain't mad at you, baby.
Hold on, BC. What did he say? That was wild. I thought
Dub. I appreciate your hostness, but you heard all the wild shit this nigga was saying. He was saying wild boy cowboy matchups. Like, man, you don't even believe your goddamn self with the shit you was just talking about. But I ain't mad at you. If that is your opinion, we are all entitled to those. But Brian Norman, I think he could fight. I think he could fight. I think that he is way more athletic than he is a gifted fighter. So some of the people that you said that he would beat, you sound crazy to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not that. I mean, he has a puncher's chance against some of those people because he's fucking clearly a phenomenal athlete. However, when it comes to the sweet science, like, bro, I don't have the same take as you on some of those matchups.
Yeah, I mean, it's like my grandma used to say, everybody got an opinion, man. That's why we all got a butt. But
I ain't mad.
I just think, man,
opinions are like assholes, huh? That's what she told you. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just sleeping on B Norman.
I'm not. I think he's.
Hold on, BC. Hold on, BC. Let the brother finish.
I think Brian can be very Errol Spence like if he get his chance. He's really likable, and he gonna really be knocking some dudes out. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and you say a puncher's chance, but I'm banking on the dad, man. B Norman Sr. as a motivator. Yeah, but I'm telling you that having the right corner goes a long way, man.
Agreed. I am not trying to besmirch that man's name. I'm not trying to tarnish him to any capacity. All I'm saying is some of those matchups are like, yo, bro, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, your boy, he's a good athlete, but
which one, Brody? Who you got him losing to?
Oh shit, I got him losing the boots.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you beat the Philly cheesesteak out of boots.
Hold on, real quick, BC. Outside of boots, and I ain't got no problem with you saying that. Outside of boots, who you got him losing to?
There was another matchup that sounded crazy to me. I don't remember what the other matchups you put
I'll
in
give you. I'll run a few of them down for you. You got him losing. Who wins the fight? Him or Devin Haney?
I think he beats Dev.
Okay, him or the winner between Pacquiao and Barrios.
Oh man, he beats the shit out of both of them niggas, bro.
Okay then. Shit.
Those weren't the only takes that he had. Like he had other absurd takes, bro. It wasn't just Brian. I'm not Brian Norman hunting. Like I just think he loses to boots. Like he's valid on Pacquiao. Pacquiao's almost my age. He ain't got no business.
Well, respectfully, bro. Respectfully, BVO is a crazy nigga, so he gonna have some bad takes.
Hold on. But Teofimo Lopez.
Agreed.
Teofimo Lopez.
Right.
Who wins that fight?
With whom?
And Brian Norman.
Come on, bro.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Does he have a chance to acclimate to the weight? Or we just talking about like right now? Right now, Brian Norman beats fuck out that nigga, but like. Tio's a skilled dude, bro.
We gonna let Tio acclimate to the weight. He acclimates. Does he beat
Brian Norman still beats him up?
Okay then.
Brian Norman still beats him up.
Let me ask this one then.
There was other takes. There were other people involved in his takes. You know what I'm saying? Like he was talking about Devin Haney versus this person. Teofimo Lopez versus this person, Shakur versus some of that shit was just like, man, you bugging.
Well, I mean, I went through a whole list and
agreed. That's
what we do over here.
I got a question for BVO whenever you get it, whenever I can get in.
Go ahead and ask your question, my brother. Go
BVO,
ahead.
You still awake?
I'm here.
And hold
on, y'all not gonna disrespect the guest tonight, man. Come on, y'all gotta be in order.
I mean, you know, my man B3 Pitch been smoking crack all night.
Well, and that's why you get disrespected, because you're gonna disrespect that, brother. So y'all go ahead. Go ahead. Who am I?
At BVO, at what age in your childhood did you just become bigger than everybody?
2.
I think when I found out that your mother was that great at cook, it changed my life. You know? It really did. Shout out to her, man. Appreciate it. Tell her I'm sorry.
BBO. When you go to the grocery store, right? Do you prefer the lamb or the pork?
I know one thing. We gonna get the lamb, man. We don't really eat pork, you know.
You sure?
No. He if y'all listen to the interview, he said that earlier. He said they never.
I didn't listen to the interview. I was at work.
No, well, I'm telling you, he said that we didn't grow up. We didn't grow up eating pork. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said.
Okay.
Now, BBO, one last question from me. Chocolate, vanilla, or Neapolitan?
Neapolitan.
Yep. Go ahead.
I'm gonna repeat it.
You said chocolate, vanilla, or what? What?
Isn't like Neapolitan the one with all three? You get the strawberry included.
Is that my ice cream?
Yeah, ice cream, of course.
Well, shit, I didn't know.
Hey.
I've never heard of Neapolitan. I've never heard of Neapolitan.
Discernment, brother.
I've never heard of Neapolitan ice cream. I thought that was a drink.
Chocolate, strawberry, sarsaparilla. Come on.
Sarsaparilla?
No, that was Flavor Flav. But go ahead. It's chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, B3. Bodie's or
answer the question first, bro. Answer the question first.
Can you answer the question first, please?
Answer the question first, brother. What's your preference? Chocolate, vanilla, or Neapolitan?
My favorite is chocolate.
Okay. I mean, that kind of surprises everybody since you don't like blacks. But go ahead and ask me what you wanted to ask me.
Baby.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a non-white girl sex experience in your life? That's my question. Have you ever had a non-white girl sex experience in your life? Or every woman that you ever slept with still white?
So
slept with
that. The answer, of course, if I do have to oblige this question.
Define slept with. Define slept with.
Hold on.
No. Clarification.
No, I gotta get y'all niggas to drop. God damn, but I didn't expect none of this.
Go ahead.
The fuck is wrong with you people? Who raised you?
What is going on?
Wait a minute. I need clarification. Define slept with.
Yeah.
Well, all the women.
Damn. It's a bunch of bull.
And you know what it means to be. You know what it means to sleep with somebody. We ain't talking crazy, man. This thing got out of order quick. Hold on.
Can you repeat?
I want to run.
Y'all out of order. Y'all out of order.
Just repeat.
I want to run.
Y'all out of order right now. Y'all out of order.
You go down the hill,
and we gonna get things back in order because I just gotta tell you. You know what this is right now?
This is outrageous.
I ain't never seen nothing like it.
I don't duck and dodge any questions, BBO. Can you repeat it one more time for me?
You out of order.
Go ahead, repeat.
You out of order, man. Now, hold on. Wait a minute. Now, I just had an interview with my brother 3.
It was fire.
He was in the street.
And when folks was out of order, did I not call them out of order?
Yeah, we got him in order.
And we gonna have to get your ass in order, respectfully. I said, BC, you out of order.
How so?
Well, you talking too damn. Well, you over talking.
I just needed clarification because he said
you out of order,
he
man.
said some wild shit. I
want to run.
We ain't having it.
I just wanted to know where he was going with it, Dub.
You my brother. You know I love you. You know how it is. At the same time, you out of order, man.
My bad.
Well, I don't even know how we got to where we going. Let's get back in order. Go ahead. B3, ask your question. BVO. Shit, I don't know what you got.
Are we moving past
tell
this
you,
BVO bad question?
I
Let's move past
don't know
it.
what you got going, BVO, but Negro got smoke with you. They got smoke with you, man.
Hey, I don't know why they got smoke with the man of God, but that's what it is, man.
I didn't have smoke. I had an inquiry and I asked it, and he clarified what his stance was on it. I just thought he was tripping with the comparisons in boxing. I didn't come in talking about no ice cream and no shit like that. I'm tired.
All I want this to happen to do is this, because I heard BVO he stuck up a bank and his wife was a teller, and that's how he met his wife. He was holding her hostage. Miss BVO, if you need our assistance, just dial 911 to get you up.
All I say is this, man. Shout out to my brother BC. Got nothing but love for him. But man, shout out to my little brother, man, who's over there.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
If we didn't have nerds like my man Screech, aka B3, we'd be in trouble, man. Salute to my brother Screech.
Well, let me ask you this. Who was the best boxer ever, in your opinion? I know you're a boxing expert.
Me.
You? You're the best boxer ever? Mm-hmm. Well, who'd win in a fight, you or Mayweather?
Me.
Okay. You're better than Mayweather. Okay.
Yeah.
You or Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson is a He's scared of me.
Seriously.
That's what I'm hearing right now.
Son look like a brown Homer Simpson. That dude look crazy.
And you
He
know,
got
B3,
written all over.
you know, if I look at my man BC, he look like a cancer patient. No eyebrows, bald head. You know, you look kind of bad, bro.
I'm gonna just tell y'all when y'all come in here roasting, man, with BVO, I gotta say this, man.
The fucking nobody.
That fucking nobody is John Wick.
That nigga like John Wick on y'all motherfuckers.
Is he? Yo, he got titties in the front and titties in the back. He got titties in the front and he got titties
You've been saying that for a year, man. You've been saying that for a year.
And you still got titties on your back, son.
Well, my question is this, man. Have you lost the Obama phone?
I never had an Obama phone.
How's that going?
Presidency, sir.
I mean,
can you count? Can you count?
How's that going?
A brother on Snap benefits can't really roast me, man. So salute to my man BC.
That's a fact. Hey, listen. What's funny is I work with Snap. Ha!
Oh yeah, that's why you get all that food in your house, man. I know.
Wrong guy. I'm 48 and I'm 150 pounds. Can you say the same, sir?
You said, am I the same weight as a little boy? No. I'm not 150 pounds, but you what, 5'3", 5'4"?
Man, y'all cut it out, man. Listen, BVO, he the type of guy, he'll be marinating a rack of lamb and a whole pound of ribs, and then he gonna come on here and talk about people.
I heard you struck my son.
Yes, sir, I did.
Yeah, may I ask why?
Yeah, well, because he stole John Wick's car, sir, and killed his dog.
Oh.
I ain't got no smoke with nobody. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I ain't never coming for BVO. It's always playful fun and banter. But realistically, I think some of your takes are a bit off. I don't speak to you often enough to even know the context in which you speak when you say who's gonna win, because you don't really say why. You just, like the way Dub asked you, you were just giving your response to who you thought won. You didn't really say why, and some of it needed context, bro. Because T.O. don't beat half the people you said he beats.
Who did I say he beat? See, you just talking because you can't.
No. Actually, I was listening. I don't remember bullshit.
Well,
like if we're being transparent.
And that's cool.
No. I meant that. I'm not being a dick. Like, I'm not being a dick. Like, for real, you be saying some bullshit, and I have to disregard a lot of the things you say because you say it for the value of how it sounds. And
I know that guy. Was it Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice. How do you know Beetlejuice?
Who's the greatest fighter of all time?
Me.
You could beat Mayweather?
Hell yeah. I beat his ass before.
right.
Well, I say this to my man BC. You entitled to your own opinion, and if you don't agree with me, man, it's okay because they've been doing this for over 400 years, man. Whenever a black man has his own thought, you know, they say, hey, you don't think like me, so you're not black enough. So I get it. That's the cool behavior we deal with now. So I appreciate
that Willie Lynch
man.
shit. Right. That's that Willie Lynch. But that's not
for me to get caught up by Uncle Tom like you, man, I must be doing well.
Man, I got you.
For sure.
The fuck is wrong with you people? Who raised you?
I always gotta say, man, it's crazy. I know my brother BC, he ain't no Uncle Tom, nothing like that. I don't think that BVO believe. And at the same time, I think BVO was very honest in his opinions as far. I don't understand the smoke right now. I don't even see it. I ain't seen this happen like this now. I ain't seen it.
Yeah, I was shocked myself.
I'm gonna say this from my point of view. I love my brother BVO, my brother Doug. BC seem like good people. You had a great interview, BVO. It was fun, man. I just came on here to kick it with you for a little bit, man. Give you your flowers. You one of the hardest working men in YouTube, so salute to you, man. The thumbnail god, BVO.
I appreciate you, man. Nothing but love to you, my brother. And I'm gonna say this, man. Salute to my son, BC, man, because that's a really good dude, man. One thing about BC, he loves his family. He's a good brother, man. I love you, man.
I love you back, brother, but I ain't your son. I ain't qualified.
That's what I thought. That's how y'all New York niggas talk. My bad.
Nah. I don't know who them New York niggas that you talk to.
Oh, that's why you're not from Brooklyn. I'm sorry. My bad.
Nah, I'm not. I'm from Queens.
Yeah,
I grew up in Brooklyn.
He represent Queens tough. He represent Queens tough. So.
Okay,
I represent my family.
You from?
I'm from the same
Jamaica?
part that your ass was scared to come to, fool. When you come to New York, I would like to see you. Nah, I don't live in the projects, bro.
Oh, so you live in the north? So you live in the northern end?
No, I live in Southside, fam.
Oh, they got houses over there? I don't know. Every time I think of Jamaica, I always think about the projects. That's why I say that.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
But yeah, I'll be there July 26th, man.
But will I see you is the question.
We gonna make it happen.
Are you gonna come to Manhattan at all or no?
Yo, bro. Stop it. Like, I called you when you was in the city. I called you and I was coming from work.
When I
there was calamity. There was a lot going on.
I didn't plan it right. Yeah, I didn't plan it right. Then
it's all good.
I'm gonna be there.
I live here, brother.
Tommy gonna be there. B3 is gonna be there. We're gonna have a couple people up there, man. CDK is gonna be there, so it'll be nice to see you, man.
I look forward to meeting these fellows as well. But I've known you for some time off camera. I look forward to meeting you in person, bro. Like I am as advertised, bro. I'm not capping on YouTube. I don't I'm a real person, bro.
I just want to talk
to you. You have my real phone number. You have my real phone number, bro. Call me when you get here. I'm gonna come see about you. If I'm at work, I'm gonna tell you what time I get off. I'm gonna tell you my earliest convenience to meet up with you. We're gonna coordinate. Like I'm about my word. I am a 48-year-old man.
We're gonna be on it because I'm gonna be out there with my wife, so we're gonna be on it, man. Because I was in the Bronx, man. I was at Yankee Stadium waiting on your boy Puerto Rican Tommy. He had me waiting for an hour.
He live on the other side of the Bronx, bro.
Yeah, he live in Soundview. I wasn't going over there with them crazy niggas.
And listen, I will be there. All I'm gonna say is, please, if you pull up BC, make sure you can find me a meal under $150. Okay.
Man,
yo, bro.
Hey, bro, just get a chopped cheese, bro. All you need to be asking for is a chopped cheese when you get there. Nothing else.
I promise I'm gonna come in peace and I'm gonna take you someplace where you can eat for reasonable dollars, bro.
I went to that Jamaican beef patty place. Is that it? Was that? I think it was the Bronx. Yeah,
I
man.
mean, hey, that's
that
a franchise.
line was long as hell, man.
Hey, that shit is popping.
Yeah, they
but
had
we
the cocoa bread with the beef patty in it. That was good.
BVO, we got to coordinate, bro. Hit my line. Shoot me a text. Call me. However you want to do it. Let's coordinate some shit.
I'm gonna make sure we do that. I'm gonna make sure we do that, man. Word is bond.
When you come up, I already told you what it is, bro. Like, pull up, nigga. It's about to be your birthday soon. Pull up.
Yeah, that's exciting,
Dub,
man.
have you
about to
have you
turn,
committed?
Dub? 37?
What year is it? Hold on. It's
25.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be 37.
Damn,
yeah,
brother.
absolutely.
Dang, that's cool.
You know more about the presidency than your own birthday, fool?
Bro, I forget how old I am on a regular basis, bro. I'm just being honest.
That's exciting, man. That's exciting, man. 37 years old, man. You doing it, bro.
Dub, have you committed to the July 26th for New York, or you still contemplating?
I didn't even know that was supposed to be a thing, but I'm working on it now. I'm hearing about it, so I'm gonna do my best to make my way accordingly.
Yeah, we just said we gonna all go up there.
But I'm gonna just be honest. The problem is down here, school starts back the last week of July, and
yeah, but you only up here for like 2-3 days. That's the middle of July.
No,
and we don't call it July. It's just July.
The 20, I believe my son start back, and I gotta check the dates. He start like on like the 24th or some shit like, or it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday.
The 16th is a week before that, baby.
Say it again.
The 16th is
the 26th.
No, I thought y'all said the 26th.
Yeah, the 26th of July.
Okay.
For the Xander Zayas fight.
Yeah, and so I believe, and I got to see how things work out. I got to see how it work out.
I got ringside seats, man.
But I believe that's a Friday night, But
the problem is the problem is school probably, and I gotta see first because the way it is down here, they get out of school early May, you know what I'm saying? May, the first week of May, and then they back in school the last week of July, going into August. You know what I'm saying? So
demographic.
I just gotta see how it work out for me. I gotta figure that out first. But if I get the opportunity, man, I'm gonna come back to fool with y'all.
Man, pull up. Man. Hey, listen, I didn't even know there was a fight. I didn't even give a fuck. I'm cool with just seeing you motherfuckers. Like real shit. I'm cool with just seeing you. I don't give a fuck what y'all doing. Yo, y'all coming from the fight? Bet that you get me time to get over there. I got you.
Yeah, because we gonna be in the Hulu room, man. That's a super little spot.
No question.
Yeah, that's where they slaughtered my favorite group, Dipset, in there in the Hulu room. New York City. I don't live in Miami.
You flying or driving, BVO?
I'm gonna drive up there. I drive in New York. I don't fly to New York that much.
Yeah,
it's only 6 hours.
6-hour drive.
Hold on, you said it's how many hours?
6.
Oh, okay. I thought okay.
Because what I usually do is I park in Jersey and I catch the train to Manhattan from there.
Word.
They got like a parking pack. They got, what is it called? A park and ride. Yeah, it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be fun because we're gonna get to see Uncle Stitch gonna be in the house. I already talked to him, so that's gonna be exciting. Caleb Plant's gonna be there. It's gonna be nice, man.
Dang, Caleb Plant gonna be in the building. Oh, that's lit. Okay.
Yeah, because didn't you tell Uncle Stitch who you was? You said, or you did?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah, so he real good dude, man. He real excited. He was excited. I told him I was coming. He's like, excellent.
Yeah, that's.
But let me know, Dub, because if you do decide to go, man, I'm gonna try to help you get a ticket in the house, man, because the ticket's like $425.
Well, so the first day of school for us is July 30th. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the first day of school. So that'll be the weekend. Well, you said the 23rd?
26th, that Friday.
So
That's Friday.
So that'll be the weekend of the first day of school.
Hold on. Is that?
Yeah, it is.
26, 27. Oh yeah, it is that.
So that's give me a second. Let me see what I can do.
You ain't gotta figure it out right this second.
No, I ain't gotta figure it out right now. Well, a little. I'm just looking at the schedule and the calendar right now. You know what I'm saying?
How far are you from New York?
Nigga, I can't drive to New York. I'm taking a flight. Nigga, I live in Georgia.
Yeah, that's different.
Georgia, nigga. That's a.
Oh, that's right. All day you in Georgia, so that's
I can't drive.
Yeah,
I gotta fly. So, but then the thing is, I gotta coordinate my flight there and then
Dang,
back.
this arena is like a bowl.
Yeah, it is. It's small.
All right, so what side do they come? Do they walk in on? Dang, it ain't really no. It's only a few tickets left on this joint.
It's not a bad seat in the house, man.
Yeah, I see that part. Yeah, definitely. You're right about that.
Yeah, so it's gonna be nice, man.
I'm looking at them now.
I'm just looking at it. I'm gonna just be honest. Y'all gonna I ain't gonna be there. Man, I'm not coming to none of that shit. Respect. I'm just telling the truth. Because I got open house. Damn.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. But hey, we'll plan something again, man. This is
no. It's all to the good. It's all to the good. We're gonna make something happen, man. If I get the opportunity, like I always say.
Because I would love to come to Atlanta, man. Well, you ain't got to go nowhere but up the road.
Hey, give me a 2-hour drive, man. I'll take that 2 hours.
What more gonna say? Atlanta's the home of milk and honey.
Milk and honey.
Hey, the fight is good, and I ain't gonna say no crazy shit, but I'm coming to see y'all. I could watch the fight on my motherfucking phone.
You such old school dude, PC.
Nah, hey man, I'm a real cat, bro. Like,
brother, I can watch
it
on my phone.
I could watch that shit on my phone. I could watch that shit on my way to meet y'all. Like, man, miss that.
You know what's so funny, man? One thing that always make me laugh about when you go to New York, man, is when you see them niggas jumping over the turnstops like that. Boy, you be like, what are y'all niggas doing?
Jumping the turnstile. What it look like they doing, fool? Ain't got it. I ain't got it. I'm out of here. I need to get on this train though. I ain't got it.
Don't let nobody open that emergency door, bro. Niggas gonna open that emergency door.
And the police gonna take the person that opened it, not the person that walked through. Ain't that some shit?
But it's true. Out of order, man. Y'all out of order.
It's true though.
Hey, on that note, man, I look forward to seeing you, BC. Appreciate Rightside for having me, man.
Hey, real quick.
It was the most excellent interview.
I always got to do these things. And BC, B3, I appreciate y'all jumping up, but I'm kicking y'all out. Much love and respect to both of y'all. Y'all know y'all my family, so love y'all. Y'all be safe out here. BVO, man, let me get your last words. I gotta ask this before you go. I gotta ask this one question. Yes. Did you have fun?
Oh, it was a great interview. It was a lot of fun, man.
Hey, as long as you have fun, man, I appreciate it. Let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on. And hey, man, I appreciate you. You know, you already know how we talk anyways, but I appreciate everything you got going on. And I appreciate you giving me your time, your effort, and your energy for this interview. I appreciate that.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man. As my man, Richie Rich said it best to Tupac. I'm glad to have you part of the Sports Talk Network, man, and we doing some big things, man. So I hope my brother BC will join us one day too. But it's great, man. It's great to be with good people, and that's all I ever wanted, man, is to work with good people and have some fun, man. Like the Magic Man said.
Oh, wait a minute. You got one more guest that want to ask you some questions. I gotta bring Mr. Chapman up here. I know Mr. Chapman got something for you. Mr. Chapman, you out of order already. I got to tell you the truth. You out of order because your mic, we hear everything in the background. But
what you hear in the background? No. What you hear in the background? What you hear?
No, you good now. You good now.
Sound like a woman screaming.
No, you heard this.
Oh, you said
That was out of order. Me slamming the door on the motherfucker. I slammed the
he
door on the
slammed the door.
motherfucker. So that was out of order. Hey, shout out to my main man, the notorious one, BVO. Shout out to Dub Rightside. If you ain't rocking with Dub, you rocking on the wrong side. Shout out to the Mickey Freaky Chat. BC. Like he said, excellent interview. Dub did his thing. Professor. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Steph Brown, Mr. B. Well. All-Star Izzy. I remember my man All-Star Izzy. Yeah, shout out to that guy. Troy Graham. Did Graham Experience. Hey, shout out to who else we had up in this bad boy? ATX 41 Red. Ben Israel. He was up in Thrill Hill, my Kinfo, Picasso, the Masterpiece, B Thrizzle, my Nizzle. Democracy 101. Who is that?
To my
Marky Dan?
brother
That's Marky Dan? Yeah, that's Marky Dan. Prize.
Sugar
I know he was up in here. Sugar cane code. KQ came through. Hey, shout out KQKC. D Ricky Fricky Ray live on the Mickey Frickin' Drive. He was up in this Mickey Fricky, man. Zoomverse, my guy. Thomas Hill was up in this bitch. And shout out to my man BVO, man. He told us a lot of good stuff.
Hold on, Mr. Chairman. Did you shout yourself out?
I saw myself.
You shot yourself out.
I saw myself, so I had to I had to send a shout out to myself, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to shout me out, because damn it, not many people do.
Shout out to the Desert Boys, man.
Hey, for sure. You know, I got nothing but love for you guys. Hey, that was a wonderful interview. My man BVO. You know what I'm saying? He could be a stand-up comic, because, you know, when you doing stand-up comedy, man, you know, sometimes you don't be telling the truth, but you make it sound real good. And my man BVO, that boy can make stuff sound real good. He didn't tell you about it that one time he found himself in somebody else's house with a barrel shining out of his butt. But you know what I'm saying? Some things is left better unsaid. He didn't tell you about the discount you get, the 35% on the shrimp and grits edibles, dog, over at the
you sick, bro.
smoke shop, but he ain't tell you about that. Oh, what about that dang
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, when you coming to do your interview?
Man, I don't know, but I'm gonna come to a theater near you. I'm gonna tell you that, boy. And it's gonna be a hell lot of laughs too. I'm gonna make some ish up just like my man BVO. It's gonna sound real good, dog. I'm gonna make it sound real good. Hey, but shower tomorrow, right?
Hey, we got my sister shower tomorrow, man.
The chocolate treat.
Oh man, I like that. The chocolate treat.
Yep. Shout out to shower, man.
Man, shout out to you, player. You came through, man, represented, and you entertained the folks like you always do, dog. And if you don't know, and you need to get that ring work, we got Out of Order Promotions. The CEO of that bad boy is Mr. Dub Rightside himself, respectfully. And if you can't even do that, and you want to go on and make some stuff up and make it look good, we got Sir Cap-A-Lot Records, and that's CEO right there.
Hey man, shout out to everybody that supported. We did 150 views, man, on that WNBA entitlement.
Hey man, shout out to that. Hey, shout out to my main man, Rick Timms III, one of the legends of these year YouTube streets. He stopped by just to say hello, man.
Rick
so that's
Timms.
what I'm saying. Rick Timms, man, that boy right there, he don't play. He be like, man,
if you don't know, straight from the sunny side, man.
Hey, not everything's sunny over there in Sunnyside, but hey, if you want to get a bright day, you better go on Rick Timms' way, because otherwise it ain't gonna be nice for you, man. Shout out Sunnyside.
And my man Ricky Timms remind me of the old school dude that'll choke you out. If you ain't
Rick Timms don't play that bud-ish. That's why I love Rick.
Sometimes you need them on your side. You need those brothers on your side sometimes.
Oh yeah, you know he used to be out there.
That's huge, bro. That I'm looking at that right now. That's huge, man. 150 people watch that, man. Us talking about the WNBA. That's tight, man. We doing it, bro.
Hey man,
boxing what? Boxing who?
But that's why you said you were the Sports Talk Network. That's why you got that lightning sign going through there, because you know you bring nothing but electric points of views. view topics and all kind of stuff like that. On top of that, we even talk democracy over that way. You know what I'm saying? We talk conspiracies over that way. Man, we talk about ninjas getting chased by the police over that way. You know what I'm saying? We talk about people breaking into other people's house over that way. You know what I'm saying? We talk about whatever Rick Timms want to talk about over this way too, man. Rick Timms, you know, my man Doug Rightside gonna be looking for an interview. I'll let you know that right now. Doug Rightside.
I done already talked to Rick. Rick know what it is. He know what it is.
Yeah, man. So we want to hear about the sunny side of town. Hey, and he want to hear about a little bit of Compton too. So you know, Compton's on his way too.
Man, when you gonna do your interview?
Hey, you know, whenever I get ready to do it, man, whenever I get that availability, you know you got it, dog. And it could take 5 hours just like this interview did. I'm not even tripping.
Hey, man. Well, we done had a great show tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you had a wonderful show tonight, man.
Mr. Chairman, give me your last words. Then I got to get my guest last words. BVO. Mr. Chairman, give me your last words.
Hey, shout out to my man.
Last words. We're going to let the chairman close us out. I'm gonna get my last words so the chairman can close out.
Take your time,
shout out to everybody. Shout out to Dub Rightside, and you know what? Appreciate what he's doing. That's a labor of love, man. We talking, learning, get to know each other, man, and that's the best part about it, man. We get on YouTube, a lot of us every day, and you never know who you'll meet. I met some wonderful people on YouTube, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that's supporting the Sports Talk Network. We got a raffle. We got our league coming. Keep your eyes open, man. We doing some big things.
Hey, man. Salute, BVO. Great show. Appreciate you showing up and showing out. Mr. Chairman, give me your last words as well.
Hey, coming out of Cleveland, man. A itty bitty ninja with some curly nappy hair, bro. Grew up to be a football player. Saw the good sights of the world via the Chargers and whoever the hell else he played for.
Seattle.
Oh, with PC, are you with me? Pete Carroll, my main man, the Trojan extraordinaire.
The man was, hold on. The man, he told us tonight, Ricky Sherman, man. Come on now.
Hey, man, Ricky, I got to put some respect on his name. If Richard Sherman was your veteran, man, that means you was schooled in the right way. That's a smart brother. On top of that, that's a well-versed brother. And on top of that, he makes sure he keeping. Hey, he from the good side of Compton, dog. He from East Rancho Dominguez, bro. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Shout out my man, Richard Sherman. Shout out my man, BVO. What's up?
You said Dominguez?
East Rancho Dominguez. You know, I'm be real with you. Compton was Compton, and then it got to be like factions in Compton. So it was Rosina Ranch up in that bad boy, East Rancho Dominguez, because Dominguez High School is a Compton school, but they call it now East Rancho Dominguez because you know it's got a little bit of nice culture over that way, and all kind of stuff like.
I'm gonna let you add that one in the interview, Mr. Chairman. I'm gonna let you add that one because I don't know nothing about it.
But what we had today though was somebody that had been around the world, played in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? Played college ball, man. Shout out to college ball because, you know, we had a show where they was talking about college ball. And shout out to my man. He putting it down in real life up on this bad boy, this platform that he called Sports Talk Network. So shout out BVO. I want to say he kept it real on certain things tonight, man. Appreciate that. I want to say also thank you guys for coming through, man, because there is no Sports Talk Network without the viewing public to talk the sports with. So if we can get together and network, you can see a whole lot of lightning strike your way. And on that note, we about it.
Love you, Mr. Chairman. BVO, man, appreciate the interview. Appreciate your time. This was fantastic having the conversation with you. And like I always say, I've been looking for this conversation, and I really appreciated it. Any last words as far as that goes?
See, cat got his tongue, man.
And shout out to go ahead.
It's past my bedtime, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. The wife told him to get off that damn phone, player.
No, my wife is New York. My wife's in New York, punk.
Okay. Okay.
You smoke
My
crack,
man.
don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
And we encouraging all y'all brothers to stay off the crack and stay off the crack.
Hey, stay out of other people's houses too, because that was told to that boy when he broke in somebody's house, man. He said, "You smoke crack, don't you?"
Hey,
No, I was on top of their roof.
You're killing your brain cells, man.
Man, we gotta acknowledge one of the great brothers out there.
Hey, there he is. What's up, you dirty bastard? Who is this? It's me, you dirty asshole.
Hey, you want to know what's wild?
You out of order.
Okay, my bad.
Shout out to Marky Dan for showing love to the clowns out there. Shout out to my brother, man. And I say this respectfully, man. Shout out to my brother D Free in the building, man. D Free said,
Well, let me ask you this. Who was the best boxer ever, in your opinion? I know you're a boxing expert.
Me?
You? You're the best boxer ever? Well, who'd win in a fight, you or Mayweather?
Me?
Okay. You're better than Mayweather. Okay.
Yeah.
You or Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson is a He's scared of me.
Seriously.
shout out to my brother D Free, man. Shout out to my brother Piro. Oh, I got my brother Piro in the back. Piro, what's going on, man?
What up?
We get ready to get the show down.
We're ready to go, man. I just want to say happy belated Father's Day to everybody.
Happy Father's Day, Piro.
Hey, happy Father's Day to my brother Piro, man.
Happy Padre Day for you, Hey.
My brother Piro pulled up and said,
I know that guy. Was it Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice. How do you know Beetlejuice?
Who's the greatest fighter of all time?
Me.
You could beat Mayweather?
Hell yeah. I beat his ass before.
Piro said, I done whooped their ass before.
Hey, that brother said I done beat him. Hey, I love Beetlejuice. I used to have Beetlejuice on there, but he cussed too much, man. With that boy Beetlejuice, I just want to put him in the hospital.
I heard you struck my son.
Shout out to BBO, man, for pulling
That boy said, Viva CCD cabrones. Hey, check this out, bro. My man
Hold on, Mr. Chairman. We ain't got that much time. I'm shutting this thing down. Y'all trying to talk. We shutting this thing down. My brother BBO said tonight, man.
I heard you struck my son.
Yes, sir, I did.
Yeah, may I ask why?
Yeah, well, because he stole John Wick's car, sir, and killed his dog.
Hey man, shout out to BVO, man. Also, BVO, and this is how we looked at BVO tonight.
The fucking nobody?
That fucking nobody is John Wick.
Hey, a deadly individual, man. A deadly individual. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because most of his stories end with him whooping some tail. You notice that, right? Every story he tell, he got him whooping some tail.
I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad at it either.
We got Mr. Chapman up there, so we got to give Mr. Chapman a go.
He once was an associate of ours. We called him Baba Yaga.
The boogeyman?
Well, John wasn't exactly the boogeyman. He was the one you sent to kill the fucking boogeyman.
That's what you had to send Mr. Chapman to do. You got to send Mr. Chapman to kill the boogeyman.
You wildin', baby boy. You wildin'.
We going through all of them.
That's the one you want.
We going through all of them. I got to drop this one for y'all as well. Y'all young niggas thugging out there. We can't pay y'all Negroes to straighten up. But get what though? Get what I gotta tell you.
Get what? What we getting, dog?
Get what? You know what I said that specifically. Get what?
I know you said specifically. Get what, dog? What we getting?
Hey. If it come down to a fight, I got BBO in.
Bigger than five. 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 It don't matter. KFC, UFC.
Bigger than 5.
It doesn't matter. Chris Paul, Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
Bigger than 5.
Serge Ibaka, Chewbacca, Waka Flocka.
Bigger than 5.
Tyler Hero, superhero, guitar hero.
Bigger than 5.
You can have hard, you can have a park, you can get a garden.
Bigger than 5.
White side, back side, sunny side.
Bigger than 5.
Phoenix sun, Capri sun, the sun about to set.
Bigger than 5. 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 Bigger than 5.
Who you gonna put on loop?
And then when y'all get on here and y'all be telling all these different stories and y'all say,
I swear to God, mama.
I swear to God, my mama. What would I say?
Out of order. Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
Because
Sir, you're out of order.
and that's how it happens around here. And we love boxing, but we just gotta be honest.
Doesn't matter. I am the best. There ain't a motherfucker come close to me. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, people can say a whole bunch of things, but I am the best. If you ever see me, I'm the best, period.
And when it comes to this YouTube thing, that's what I am. I always gotta say now. Turkey came out and said he putting out a no running rule.
He's
Right?
scared of you. He ain't trying to fight you, he running. You got to fight a motherfucker, you gonna hold on that time.
So we don't want to see none of that. And you know we don't want to see it? Because
I love boxing. I love knowing about boxing.
I love boxing. I love knowing about boxing. And also, even though people who say they love boxing, what we really understand is...
When I say more people don't know shit about boxing, they don't.
Damn.
And then when they watching the fight, get what they end up seeing when they pick nonsense.
Oh, I know he got his ass whooped.
That's all they see. I just know he get his ass whooped. That's all. And then after that, you listen to Trainer talk corner, and they be talking like
whooping him easy. But I'm saying he just coming forward. I'm saying you just whooping his ass.
Whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying? But what it really comes down to in the sport of boxing is everybody had aspirations. You know what I'm saying? And they
a whole bunch of moves. Woulda won, shoulda won, coulda won, but they didn't.
You know what I'm saying? And when we see that they didn't, we have to ask the question and just be honest about it.
The fuck is wrong with you people? Who raised you?
And when we ask that question, we trying to be in order. When we ask that question, we trying to be in order, you know, because I don't want to be caught.
I try my best to tell the truth. People don't like my style, how I talk, my delivery, but you ain't catching me in half truth and lies.
And that's what we're not going to be caught in around here is half truths and lies. But when we call the truth out, you know what I'm saying? We always have to ask.
No.
Rough on him now.
No, he needs to know.
Okay.
He's always crying.
Y'all got to stop this crying stuff. But there are times you can cry. There are times you can cry. And Tank Davis showed it perfectly because the brother told us he had what?
What happened? I just got my hair done 2 days ago and she put grease in my shit, so the shit was like, you know, like when you sweating and things like that and the grease come in my face and it burnt my eyes type shit. Damn, why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like this is real facts. Come on, man. I just got my hair done 2 days ago.
Swing the remix gone.
I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. And she put grease in my shit. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. And she put grease in my shit. I just got my hair done. 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 Why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like this is real facts. Like this is real facts. Why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like this is real facts. It burnt my eyes. Like this is real facts. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done. I I just got my hair done 2 days ago.
And some of the great people that I love to talk to, they always told me, man, you can't keep playing it because when you play it,
Boy, that escalated quickly.
but I tell them on a regular basis.
This is outrageous. This is outrageous.
And outside of it being outrageous, it's also
Damn. It's a bunch of bull.
we gonna play it around here. The reason we gonna play it, and I see you in the back, Marky, we shutting the show down, so I ain't pulling you up. And the reason I ain't pulling you up is because
I want order.
and if you come up, we ain't gonna have order tonight. So, hey, shout out to everybody who pulled up tonight, man. We had a great interview with you, and man, love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And we shutting this thing down. I will see y'all soon. And just know when y'all over here, man, you're rocking with the right side.
Bud Crawford is a fight fan, and he's a fight fan's fighter.
The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
Ain't no pressure when you built for this.
Man down. Round one. The truth hurts.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated super flyweight from San Antonio, Texas, Jesse Bam Rodriguez!
The universally recognized undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin